Are we ready?
We're here! Hello, everybody.
I got the notification.
Did we? Because mine still says that we're not doing anything.
Yeah?
Sarah, I think we killed my computer. Oh, there it is. I can see it now.
Okay.
All right. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, hello and welcome. And thank you, everyone, for showing up. And despite the delay, stuck around. It's been an interesting day.
We'll get it figured out, though. We'll get you rolling.
Yeah. For showing up. And despite see, now I can hear myself.
Yeah.
That'd be me.
Yeah, mute
Oh,
it.
okay.
I did. I had to mute.
Okay, cool.
I'm like, wait a minute. Now I'm hearing things. Oh my gosh. Okay, so it says that we have 6 people watching. So does that include us? Like if we have it open? Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So I think that we need people to comment in the comment sections so that we can write their names down and put them into the drawing.
Yes, if you are here, and then we'll make that announcement repeatedly. If you guys are here, please leave a comment to be entered into Dana's drawing.
Yeah.
Oh, no, comment here.
Oh, are you commenting?
Yeah,
That was,
you can do it too.
got it. You are on the ball. All right, so why don't we go ahead and introduce ourselves and what we're writing, and then we'll get this show on the road. And Aphrodite, you are the first one on my left, so why don't we start with you?
Well, hello, everyone. I'm Aphrodite Lee, and I don't know what else to say. What should I say? I don't know why I'm nervous.
You're an author of amazing books.
Tell us about the book you just wrote. And
my alter ego, Minx Kenosha, wrote a book called Encounters, the 7 Erotic Sins. And it is it's the first book that I ever published. So I'm kind of like, I don't know. I'm in shock right now that I actually have a book out there, you know. So, but it was supposed to be my test model book to learn the process of publishing. So I wanted it to still be a decent story, but I was worried about how to do everything. So I said I'll put out a little novella instead of a big book that I wrote, Shattered, which is supposed to come out in April. You know, prayerfully it'll come out in April on time. And I'm really totally excited because the book is really doing well.
okay, that's understatement. It is doing phenomenally. Don't short yourself. When I first put it up, and it was really like number 10,000 and something in Amazon, and then the next day it was the top 100. I know, that is
what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it is complete and utter smut. So,
hey, white smut.
You know what?
It is an erotica book. It is not romance. Because my romance stuff, my wording is different, obviously. It is, you know, so.
There will be no throbbing members in the romance.
Uh-oh.
That's right. No moist tunnels of hidden treasure.
Wow.
In erotica, you just go for the crude words in erotica. Like,
yeah, you just did that thing again where you embarrassed me.
Oh, no.
No love buttons, no, you know, whatever.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
So I'm really happy about that. So that's where I'm at right now. I mean, I forgive how I sound. Like I'm in a lot of pain right now. So I'm happy, but I'm sick.
Yeah, it's from all of the celebrating, right?
Yeah, I've been in this room for like 5 days. I've been.
Oh man!
I'll celebrate. You know, eventually when I escape my hermit house. I am
awesome. Okay, well, we'll let you off the hook. We'll let Danny introduce herself.
Hey everyone, I'm Arthur DL Tillery. I write paranormal romance, fantasy, and horror, and I also dibble and dabble in poetry. Actually, I was doing that longer before the other stuff, but now I'm predominantly paranormal and paranormal romance. Sometimes I do mixed fantasy and romance, and my specialty being horror romance, which is a bit odd. Um, but I am what I'm going to be talking about today is going to be talking about my book When Fireflies Mingle, which is a fantasy romance novel. So that one is one of my favorite ones, and it's actually it's a series that's called the Forbidden Love series, and it always features features a couple that is not from the previous books. So that's one really interesting. So that's the one I'm going to be talking about today. That's what I'm working on. I have my debut novel that's planned for the end of this year. We'll see if that happens. Fingers crossed. That one's called Chronicles of Cagliostro, Tales of Libertin. That one I'm not going to be reading because I'm still revising and I'm going to be still working on the cover. But the one I'm going to be talking about today actually has the cover, and I'm going to just read the blurb on the back of the book. So, yay.
Awesome. Right on. I'm excited. It sounds awesome. And when will it, did you say it was going to be coming out in May?
No, the When Fireflies Mingle actually will probably be coming out after Chronicles of Cagliostro. Okay. The date for When Fireflies Mingle is dated for April 2020. So I try to give myself enough time because things happen.
All the time. Don't we know that things happen?
Life happens. I try to leave it at that.
Oh man. Yes, it does. All right. Well, awesome. Well, then we will let Jasmine go next.
Oh,
wait. Hold on, Jasmine. It's actually Amber's turn. I'm looking at my row of faces, and I think I messed up. That's that day. Go for it, Amber. Jump in.
Good. See, I'm the smart one that put author Amber in front, so Aphrodite has to go first before me all the time.
It was totally intentional, right?
Yeah.
I gotta try that one.
Okay, so I write for the moment paranormal romance. And my book Unknown Love came out last Saturday. So I'm really excited about that. And I'm in the process of getting my technically first book ever that I published taken off of Amazon because I'm redoing that one. That will come out 2 books from now. So the next book that I'm working on, my work in progress, is actually Unknown Family, which is slated for February next year. Should everything happen the way it's supposed to this year. It's technically just ready to edit and get ready, but yeah, life needs to happen first. So.
Yeah. So what is it about?
Well, the whole series scope is about the paranormal, not the paranormal, the primordial gods. You get to know a little bit about them and where they come from, which is a place called Ava Carina out in space. And you can actually, I based it off of a real place. You can look it up. It actually looks like a castle. And so so I put that as the place all the primordial gods come from. And so Unknown Love is about, it kind of stemmed off of Unknown Revenge. It's about a vampire that thinks he meets his human mate, and the gods actually come to find her because she is actually something altogether different. And so there's a roller coaster of hidden webs and confusion, and it's just a whole bunch of fun and murder all in one during a love triangle. So
it sounds awesome.
So I know, I'm like, even in real life, sometimes you got to have some murder. All right. Well, awesome. Well, now it's your turn, Jazz.
Okay, mine's not going to make sense because Amber's better at telling my story than me. But I just forgot my poem. 28th is when it comes out, and it's Victims of the Inn. It's my first book, and it's about a family of 4, and the dad/husband, I always say that, kills people behind his family's back. Hi,
Okay.
Sarah. I see you over
She
there.
said hi.
And
Yeah, she's
then-
like, it's Chaz.
I don't remember who. I think it was Aphrodite that said it seems more like a psychotic thriller. Which is probably what I'll
That's
put
an
it
apt
under.
description.
But I just like death. I don't have a specific genre. It's just death. People just have to die. So they
There are
need
no less
to
than
invent
15
a
dead
whole
people in her
genre. Death.
But yeah,
Someone
that's
dies on like the first,
psychological type.
literally the first sentence.
And it's the dad doing all the killing.
Yeah, in front of it's literally right in front of everybody's face, and they just don't see it.
Okay. All
I
right.
think that mom sees it and she's just trying to act like she doesn't want to believe it.
Probably.
Yeah. We do that kind of stuff all the time. Us
Like-
moms. We're like, what? All right. Well, awesome. And you're hoping to get it out in May? Is that what you said?
May 28th.
May 28th. Awesome. That's really going to be cool. Well, cool. Well, then it's your turn, Sarah.
Oh, goodness. Hello, I am Sarah Sharnover. This is my channel. I'm going to be reading out of Suggestion 376. I think I'm going to read Burdened, mostly because it's one of the shortest stories in there, and I wanted to read like a whole story. But yeah, so I'm currently working on like 3 books. So that's, but none of them are anywhere where I could read them. So I'm going to read something that's already released.
Right. And then that way we can like send people
Go
over.
buy it.
Yeah, go buy it because it's really awesome. I really liked the taxidermy one, and then I loved that it was turned into a short film because, and I think I loved it because we have all been there and we have all had those thoughts. Oh man, or maybe it's just me. I don't know. No, Jazz is definitely in the murderous.
My dad read it and he was like, "Don't let your grandma see that."
Uh-oh.
I'm trying to get all the way through the one I have, and I don't remember the title.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Inside Darkness.
I don't remember which one I got.
Inside Darkness.
Oh, is that what it was? Okay,
yeah, the novel, right?
With me, I have to do like a sentence or 2 at a time. Then I'm a punk. I just am.
Sir, I need to read your books. Actually, I'm a big horror person and murder mystery person.
Yeah,
so I pretty much read everything, but
yeah,
I do love horror.
Yeah, I like horror a lot too. So
that's
totally
my gig.
Yeah, I think
we need to bring Aphrodite to the dark side.
I like horror as long as I like to read horror because I'm in control of it. When it becomes too much, I can set it down.
Right.
Unlike a movie where you're just stuck and you're like, what is happening here? So, all right. So I guess
Tamara's here. Hooray!
Tamara.
Oh, yay! Well, Tamara, you just saved me, so we can.
Perfect timing.
You're welcome.
He pops in right on time.
Well, we were just introducing ourselves and we were talking a little bit about the work in progress that we are doing. So yeah, so now it's totally your turn. Sorry, I know you just got here, and I love your scarf, by the way. You have like the coolest scarves. I love the one you wore on Valentine's Day.
The one that fell off of my head.
Yeah, but it was towards the end. It made it.
With that, I was trying something new. You know, I wanted to be like cute for Valentine's Day, so I had on 2 scarves.
Uh-huh.
I needed to test that first.
Oh yeah.
It didn't work out.
Oh, yeah.
We got 1 scarf here. This should be on, you know, for the day.
Well, I mean, unless you start like doing some massive cardio, right? No,
She got jokes. Oh, dude, I'm coming in hot, y'all. This is like my first few sips of coffee. You know how that feels?
oh yeah.
Because I'm gonna make a confession. I'm late because I fell asleep on the couch. I was like, oh no. I look like absolute hell. I got to go do something.
Oh no, you look great. And
Thank you.
we were late. I was late because apparently my YouTube channel is broken or just doesn't want to work.
It's set up so that you can't stream without an encoder. I need to figure out where that setting is to reset that so that she can stream without an encoder. And I couldn't learn an encoder in the time that we needed to switch over. And like, especially not while watching her and going, click on this. Okay, no, it's not there. Click on this.
Wait, did it throw you into beta, Dana?
No, she isn't in the beta.
Oh. Mine has started throwing me into beta, and I don't know why. So I have to click over to classic every freaking
Yeah, no, it just won't let her. It won't let her live stream without an encoding program on her computer routing it back to YouTube.
Okay.
That's a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Annoying.
Which I mean, Belinda, that's my friend in the comments. Sarah. Oh yes, let me introduce you. Belinda's my friend. We've been best friends since like 2002. We hated each other. Yes. Thank you, Jasmine. Thank you.
Jasmine just made us all feel real old.
Girl.
But I just want you to know, Jasmine, I have the power to boot you off this stream. Watch yourself.
Maybe I should only read Shattered instead of Encounters because Jasmine.
Oh
yeah. Safe-ish, but
hi, Sarah.
Hi. So yeah, so Belinda and I, we met at a Thanksgiving dinner where she learned that she really didn't like me and I really didn't like her either. And I think I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think it was my son who actually, my autistic son, Elijah, who actually like helped us to break down our barriers. And now we're like best friends. And yeah. Oh yeah, Elijah has done some amazing things. So, but awesome. I love her. She was legitimately the first one to pre-order my book, and she has been there from the very beginning. Like I would told her first. I was like, I think I'm going to write a book, and she was like, yeah. So yeah, so she's awesome. So I'm really happy that she's here. Thanks for coming, Belinda, and being there again. So, okay. So Tamara, tell us about your book.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tamara, and right now I'm writing Cozy Mysteries, and my work in progress is going to be the newsletter freebie that I'm actually going to be giving out, and it's called Wiped Out. And my main character, her name is Freya. She lives in Hawaii. She's a writer, and in the beginning of the book, she's kind of going through her typical morning. You know, she's fallen asleep with her laptop in her lap and it's fallen on the floor. She's drinking coffee, you know, just living her magical Black life. And then she hears, she's on the phone with one of her best friends and she hears a scream out in the distance. And she runs and finds a woman, a very small Chinese woman who's dying. And the woman like tells her basically her last words, you know, and Freya is kind of catapulted into finding out what happened to her. So that
sounds cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
That does sound really cool. Hopefully
it reads cool.
I love when people have like really living these completely ordinary life get thrust into this big situation. I love that stuff.
Oh yeah.
Fun.
Dana, I will volunteer to go early on in the readings if people don't want to. I am the kind of person who wants to get the stress done with.
Right.
So I know some people would rather wait and not be first. I don't care. So
okay. All right.
Whatever order you want to do this in is fine, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm fine with that, and I know other people were less comfortable with that. So
okay. So Sarah has volunteered to be tribute. Thank you. So hold on, I'm writing down all the names.
Doesn't she do? Isn't it like this?
Yeah,
I thought it was
Isn't
like
that Girl Scouts?
It's 2 or 3. Yeah.
It's 3.
Oh.
2 is Boy Scouts and 3 is Girl Scouts.
3
I
is
believe.
Girl Scouts, yeah.
Yeah.
I also know the Boy Scout thing.
I'm like, if you say so, I have no idea.
I was gonna say I didn't read. Yeah, right. I
know that one.
I was a Girl Scout most of my life.
Yeah.
Live long and prosper.
I didn't read what were they called? The
Hunger
Girl
Games.
on, yeah, the Hunt. I'm all the Girl
I
on
read
Fire.
the first one.
Yeah, I didn't read it. My sister-in-law loved those books, and she read them. And then I watched the movies when they came out to DVD because my husband and my kids were really into the movies.
Yeah.
And they were great movies. It's not like I wasn't devastated when. Yeah, they were fun. But
it's a good story. It's a lot of fun.
You talking about the Hunger Games?
Yeah.
But it was just it was one of those. See that, and that's how I was. Like I looked at it as there were so many. Like I don't know. I want to say holes, but I don't know. It was just
I don't know like if the story and stuff has holes or anything in it, but I don't like torturing kids. I just couldn't watch it. It could be great, and I'm not even going to say it's not because it probably is. I'm sure it is. I just can't. I can't do it.
Yeah.
I watched all of them, and I thought they were okay, but I think the main character was a bit of a Mary Sue for my taste.
Well, yeah.
But
I don't even mind Mary Sue's. I love when characters know every damn thing.
Oh, that's fine. So that usually with Mary Sue's, like everyone loves them and they're awesome no matter what, and blah 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 blah. It can be a little tiresome after everyone starts doing it.
Yeah, all of their traits are positive traits. They don't have any negative traits.
You're like, that's not realistic.
No, there aren't real people like that.
Coherent. Being not giving your character any kind of flaw whatsoever isn't. To me, it's not helping the story. So it becomes a little distracting. If the book and stories were good, it's like that's distracting to people.
Yeah.
Like I can't relate to this character whatsoever because that's not realistic.
Right. Like I do selfish stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Like everybody does selfish stuff. You never see these characters do anything
or
selfish.
make mistakes
you
mess
you don't see them
or something. Right.
Well,
yeah.
Even I couldn't get into the kid thing.
It was the kid thing. The fact that the kids they were so young, it was like, but I got past that real fast. But it was like Katniss in the beginning of it. I felt like she truly had like romantic feelings for the hunter guy. Peeta. And I can't even, I'm like, no. Peeta was the baker's son, right?
Yeah.
The guy that married Miley Cyrus, who his character,
Liam Hemsworth.
His character. In the beginning, I thought that they were going to end up with each other eventually, and then when Peeta and Katniss were like having this romantic fling because they were put into a stressful situation.
But Peeta had always loved her, so it was kind of. He was hoping it would be more anyway, but sometimes it takes the other person a little bit to figure out that they might. That's what they were trying to play up. It took her a little bit longer to figure out that she did have feelings for him or whatever. They were playing with it to stretch it out, as you can,
Yeah, I guess I just didn't really. That's why I didn't get into it because I was like, wait a minute, it just seemed like it started off in one direction and then it went to a completely different direction, and then all of a sudden Peeta gets kidnapped and tortured, and
see, I'm glad I couldn't watch it.
It could be like that in some stories. I just watched a British movie. It's like a mini series. It's like 3 episodes or something called The Devil's Mistress. So I watch a lot of British stuff. And the main character, the whole entire miniseries, this one guy is in love with her, and she gets married at the beginning to a guy because that's the arranged marriage type of thing. And she's in love with him, she thinks, and then he dies, and then she's in love with this other dude, and this guy the whole entire time is like devoted to her. He's saving her, protecting her, and stuff like that because he's like not in her station, but he's like a fighter type who fights in wars and stuff.
Right.
So he's sticking close to her, but and then one point, like the other husband gets killed who he was working for. And he's like, well, you know, he loves her. And he kind of tells her, and she's like, well, I can never love you to him. And literally, like, not too long after that, he has to save her again because she's doing stupid crap and thinking she loves this boy who's tricking her for this whole reason. And then right after he saves her, then she's like, figures out that she does kind of love him. You know what I mean? But which was good for him because I felt really bad. I was about to punch her in the face through the screen. Like, you better love this man. Like, all this stuff he's doing for you. How dare you? Like, he's like devoted to you. Like, you know how hard that is to find that? Like, I'm upset with her or whatever, you know? Yeah. But I get what you mean. Like, you kind of want the character to like love this person you think that they probably should be with, but then they go like Harry Potter. I don't know if I should even bring that up, but when Hermione ends up with Ron, and you're like, why is she with Harry Potter? And then you find out later that the writer actually just changed her mind because she liked them two together better. So
and she regretted that. She said she wished she had not done that.
Right. Yeah, because she did though. But that's the whole thing. You're like upset. Like, why are you with them? So I get what you mean.
I wasn't. I was like, I like the ginger kids. So.
Oh, you're okay. Aww. Yeah, the 2-year-olds.
Life's hard for a 2-year-old.
It is. She had to get her clothes changed and washed up and stuff. You know, she don't like the.
Yeah, that's a pain in the ass.
Yeah,
She can't hear me, right?
No.
Okay. Wait a minute, that's a baby.
It's okay. Her mom curses like a sailor, so it's all right.
Oh yeah, that's probably her. I've met her before.
I love my kids, each and every one of them, but I am so thankful to be past that. Like,
amen.
The stage where you know something's wrong, but they can't tell you what's wrong, and so you're like, knitting milk, clean nappy, bath time, bedtime, story, and they're still upset, and you're just like,
what's wrong? It's the mental state. They just like, it's too much going on, man.
I'm glad that my kid is 30. And I still have to figure his ass out.
Oh man.
Grandson who can convey better. And he'll hit me up like, oh ma, come on, let's go make coffee. Come on.
How fun. So hey, before we get started, I wanted to show you guys some of these really cool things that I have been collecting. Okay. So I found a woman. I live in Southern Arizona. And the reason why you hear me say Southern Arizona a lot is because Arizona is legitimately like 2 ecosystems. You have the desert in the south, and then you have this beautiful foresty northern part of the state. So anyone who lives in Arizona will first tell you which part they live in, and then Arizona. So I live in Southern Arizona. And I found this woman. She is with Cauldron Candle Company, and she makes these soy candles. And she put the cover of my book. Can you see that, or is it too glary?
Oh my gosh, that is amazing!
Isn't that awesome? So she put the cover on the lid, and then I picked out like a lavender color. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's lavender.
Okay. All right, and it's a soy-based candle, and I asked her to do the fragrance with the essential oils that I diffuse while I'm writing. So while you're reading, while you're reading the book, you can actually smell what the room smells like when I was writing it. And I can put
I would lots of vanilla.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear what you said.
I said I would need lots of vanilla. A lot of vanilla was going on with my stuff.
Oh yeah. I think you gotta have like your fragrance and to be in the zone. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then she gave me these wax melts.
Oh, those are so nice.
I know. Look at These are the cutest things. Well, her company is called Cauldron Candle Company, and she has an Etsy shop.
Ooh.
But look at that. It's like in the shape of a cauldron.
Oh, those are cute.
Isn't that the awesomest?
What is it? What was it?
Oh, it's a wax melt. It's like, I thought they were soaps.
You put them in the wax melters.
Yeah.
They either plug in or they have a little candle underneath them.
Yeah.
And so it doesn't burn with the char. So like if you get that thing where it'll char your ceiling and stuff, it won't do that.
I'm all sniffing it. But yeah, they smell so good. And she has an Etsy shop, and she does custom candles. She does all kinds of stuff, and she does them very quickly. So the turner, yeah, and that was what was really important for me. So, and then after watching one of Amber's videos, I went to printrunner.com and I got bookmarks made.
Oh, cool.
I know. So it's got like my cover on the back, and then are on the front, and then on the back they're actually blank, so you can write a message on the back of them.
That's cool.
And they have business card magnets, which I thought was really cool.
That's nice.
And then
weren't they like super easy to put your picture on?
Oh, I didn't put it on there. So I am technologically the most ignorant person on the planet. And so I said, this is the picture that I want on the bookmark. And I got a message back, and they were like, hey, it's not going to fit. And I was like, do what you got to do, because I need it to do this. And they did it for me, and they didn't charge me anything extra either. Like, they made it fit. They put the title on and everything. And then the guy asked me if I wanted it blank on the back, if I wanted a black background or a white background. And I thought, well, put a white background on it so I can write on the back. Because people are always like, oh, are you going to do a book plate? Because when I autograph books, I just autograph the page. I think it's more authentic that way. But these can also be used as book plates. Yeah. And then and then I got a deck of playing cards.
I love her cute.
I was thinking about that. Then I thought people are going to say, "Oh, you're corny if you do that."
No.
I love swag personally, so I'll take anything.
Me too.
Oh yeah. I got this deck of playing cards. My daughter is a poker. I mean, she just loves playing poker. She loves winning at poker. Her and my husband are always playing poker together. And I thought, well, if they love games, someone else will love games too. And why not? Because, yeah, I just thought it was awesome. So, yeah.
Company again?
Oh.
It's printrunner.com.
Yeah, I absolutely love them.
I'm going to check them out.
They're amazing.
Yeah, and they run deals all the time. That's why I found them. I was just looking for cheaper deals.
Can you see this?
Yeah, it's pretty.
Yeah.
For me for Christmas.
That is, I love that.
If you put your hand in front of it, it will block out your face, and it makes it focus easier.
Oh, okay. But it's so cool. He's like, through your gift, the world is yours, Aphrodite Lake.
Oh, yeah, that's very nice.
I love those.
He's a nice kid.
Oh, yeah. And this was your son, or?
My son, who got it from me for Christmas.
Oh, that's awesome. That's really awesome. So everyone,
Morgan,
everyone except Jazz is going to get a free ebook copy of my book as a thank
everybody
you.
Except Jazz?
Because Jazz.
Because Jazz is a minor.
Yes, Jazz's mom will come looking for me because I will
not care.
Inadvertently teach Jazz a few things. Maybe not as much as Aphrodite, but
so I promise Jazz a version of Encounters that she can read.
Yeah.
Okay.
Say her butt about it. I'm gonna mess
That's
with her.
fine. That's fine. When Jazz became my CP, I had to ask her mom. I was like, what can she read?
When I was 11, Jehovah's Witnesses came to my door, and I answered the door with it in my hand. And at first they just start talking, and then like their eyes drift, and they're like, "Your parents let you read that?" And I'm like, "My parents don't care what I read." And they were like, "Have a good day." I'm like,
we can't save
they
her.
thought you were too
yeah,
far
no,
gone.
I was gone.
Oh man, there was no saving you, girl. You were that Stephen King.
Oh my goodness.
They pegged me right though. I was unsavable.
So,
oh man.
So I will find out. I will figure out something else to send for you. Okay, Jasmine. Maybe I'll send you a candle because I guess I just can't, in good conscience, send you this book. Your mother would hate me for it. So
I have an addiction to candles, so I'll be happy with that.
Okay. All right. So, and then what's going to happen is after everybody reads, at the end of your reading, we'll do a raffle prize. We'll raffle off one of these prizes. So I'm going to be giving away 2 ebooks, 2 in the comments. I'm going to give away 1 paperback. Like the grand finale is going to be an autographed paperback, a candle, bookmarks, and then we'll do candles, bookmarks, and the cards, the deck of cards after each reading. Did I explain that pretty clear enough?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to read some stuff, and then you're going to give stuff away.
Exactly.
Yes.
Word.
All right. So now is the time. If you want to share the link with anybody, go share the link and we'll get started.
All right. And you're going to write down names and stuff?
Yeah, I'm doing that.
Okay.
Right now. Like I feel bad because you guys are talking and I'm like trying to write and
you aren't going to be writing that long. You'll be all right. I mean, it's like, it's going to, even if they're coming up, like they're just names. It's not that hard. So it'll be fine. I will not be offended. I'm starting first, right?
Yes.
I don't know how to share. Oh, wait a minute. I figured it out.
Okay, y'all. I'm going to read a story out of Suggestion 376. I am reading a story called Burdened. The reason I picked this story is because it was short enough to read in its entirety on the air. So I hope you like it. I couldn't tell you the last time I read aloud in front of people. It was probably like 9th grade. And I'm 37. So just bear with me. We're going to have a hard time. Okay. All right, I'm going to start. Artie wasn't my father. He knew he wasn't my father. I knew he wasn't my father. He wasn't even my stepdad because my mother was too insecure to marry him. Not that I had any objection to that. I hated him from the beginning. He started dating my mom when I was about 5. At first, he was handsome, successful, and so much fun to be around. When he moved in, things changed. He put on weight 1 beer at a time. He shouted and watched TV in a room in the back of the house. Oh, I just found a typo, everybody. Okay. I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. Every man has burden to bear, and mine is you, Artie would tell me. God is using you to test me, and I'll be damned if you're going to make me fail. He would lift his hand at me and then laugh when I flinched. Artie didn't hurt me. That wasn't his style. He just wanted me to know that see, told you. He just wanted to know that I was afraid. Sometimes I wished he would beat me so I wouldn't have to be nervous all the time. 3 weeks ago, Artie told me to go get him some chips. As I walked out of the room, I felt a sharp thud in the back of my head. I remember being dizzy and very tired. I heard my mother's distant screams. Get up, Sam, get up. She tugged my arm. I wanted to get up, but I couldn't make myself. God damn it, Artie, what did you do? My mother wrapped her hands around my cheeks and kissed my forehead. You crazy fucker, what's the matter with you? You could have killed her. My mother picked up the dark glass bottle and struck him over the head. I jumped and ran to them. I grabbed her by the shoulders, but she pulled away and exploded the bottle over his head. Glass and drops of blood sprayed all over everything. I grabbed her again and pulled her off him. We looked down at Artie. 1 large glass shard stuck up from his eye. Blood dribbled out around it and pooled on the back of the couch. I checked his pulse. It was light, but I could see him breathing. I picked up a piece of broken glass and sliced his wrists open. My mother and I watched as her boyfriend of 12 years, the closest thing I ever had to a father, let out a thick, gurgling sound deep inside of him as he bled to death on our floor. There was a moment of silence, and then we just did that. Yep, we did. My mother's eyes were wide. We dragged Artie through the hall and into the kitchen before we accepted that he was too heavy for us to move. I looked around for something to help us move him, and I noticed Artie's machete standing in the corner behind the door. I thought about the bushes he only chopped down a third of before he stopped working and never went back to them. I felt my hand rising and falling as I chopped at his shoulder. The blade stuck in the meat, and I yanked it out. It made a sucking, wet sound that made my stomach burn. I cut off both of his arms before my mother took over with calm strokes, removing both of his legs in minutes. We dragged his pieces to the barn. I had heard somewhere that pigs will eat human flesh, but I must have the wrong kind. After about an hour of sitting outside in the sweltering heat surrounded by mosquitoes, they hadn't taken a bite. I dug a hole in one of the stalls as my mother dragged his limbs in, and we worked together to move his torso. Our Clydesdale Bonnie stomped the ground flat in 3 days. The reason I brought this up is that I want to make it clear that I didn't mean any of it. It's in my blood. I'm a monster. This morning, my mother said I made her kill him. She said I made her do it, but I never made her do anything. I remember holding the rolling pin. I remember a sound like walking on sticks, the same gurgling noise that Artie made. I don't remember washing my hands. I don't remember how I got here on the porch. But when I look at her smashed head and the bloody rolling pin, I know what I've done. I know I can't hide. I won't stop.
I need to read that.
That was good.
Yes.
Thank you.
I like that. That was good.
Thank you very much.
What a
That
pretty
is
love
really
story.
good.
Good stuff.
Oh, man. Jazz is like,
Sorry
I'm
about my
gonna
inability to actually read aloud.
Yeah,
You did great.
you did
Thank you.
fantastic.
That's great.
Yeah, you did. All right. So, what should we do first? What should the first thing be? Let me make sure I have everybody down. Should I do a candle first? Everybody seems to really love those candles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
These candles are awesome.
Let me see if I can. Holy cow, I'm just going to drop everything. Let me see if I can get somebody to come and draw this name. Hold on.
Oh, you guys, I'm like,
I don't even know
That
what
was
to
really
read.
good.
about a third of the way through, I was like, I should look up and make sure I'm still on camera. Nope.
Well, you just made me rethink. I was like, okay, well, I don't want to go first, but I can go second. Let me find out where I want to start. And you read so much, I'm like, wait, I was just going to read like a page.
I only read so much because I wanted to read a whole story since I have a short story collection. I
Right.
figured that it made more sense
No, you're fine.
to just read a whole short story.
Well, I'm telling you now, I'm only reading just the blurb on the back of my book, so that's really less than a page.
All right. I got my husband to wait.
You got a hand.
It's like a mystery hand.
It's
Yep.
it.
All right. Hold on. I need to write one more name. Mr. Man. He's patient.
You're perfect with Sarah's story.
I know. We just read a suspenseful, scary story, and now we're gonna have a suspenseful, scary hand come through. All right.
That's all right. I love me some Morticia Adams, so just a hand.
Right?
Yeah,
is fine.
Morticia.
Yeah, and the stuff I watch, you don't have to have a hand attached to anything.
I know. I'm like, so wait, what was the hand's name? All right, ready?
Thing.
That was a thing.
Thing.
Yeah.
This is Mr. Man.
Have you guys ever seen Idle Hands?
Oh, heck yeah.
Yeah.
That movie is so stupid. It is so funny.
It is. It's so funny.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, so
It's funny, and I'll be terrified.
It's a horror comedy, but it is very funny.
all right, are you guys ready?
Mhm.
Yep.
Author Morgan Lee will
Oh,
be getting the candle. It's an upside down candle. Awesome. So
Got some leaves in the house.
I know. So we just need you to send me a message. Go over to my channel, send me a message with your address, and I will stick this in the mail for you. Congratulations, and I hope that you love it.
Because you messaged me like 3 months ago and I never got the message. So I think she should email you.
Okay. Yes, email me at here.
no, it's DK Gaulin.
Oh, I needed you to draw a name, but Dad did it.
It's
Thank you.
DK Gaulin at Gmail.
Yeah.
My friend, when we were in the middle of a match.
Yes.
YouTube Messenger is not reliable at all.
Yeah.
What isn't reliable?
YouTube, the messages through YouTube.
Oh, I usually do it either in the discussion, like I'll send like a discussion
Double check that, Dana, and make sure I didn't type it wrong, but I think I have it right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay.
That is right. Awesome sauce. So, who wants to go next?
I can go.
All right. All right, Amber.
All right. I'm like Sarah. I haven't read in forever.
Well, we're authors, not readers.
I know, right?
I mean, we do read. We're just not public readers.
Okay. Just had to find where I said I was going to start. All right. As the driver parked the car at her building, his mate's heart suddenly felt like it had jumped out of her chest. Torrin could actually hear through the car as he neared the area. Stopping beside a tree that was engulfed in total darkness, he listened to the girls' conversation to try to figure out what they were doing next. So are we going to the park earlier than usual tomorrow morning since we're all going to be off now? He listened to Anna ask the girls as they all piled out of the Jeep. He watched Katerina get out slowly, obviously beginning to feel the full effects of the alcohol. Let's see how bad our hangovers are first, huh? The one named Andrasta answered, motioning with her eyes to Katerina, who was now leaning against the Jeep for support. Good thinking. Give us a holler, Sarah asked as she began walking towards the park to reach her building. Just listen for the rooster crow, Simi smiled. Torrin gleaned from her memories that was the sound Andrasta had for a ringtone for Simi. Torrin watched her walk backwards, talking as she motioned for the one named Anna to catch up. Sounds good. Nothing like listening for cock in the morning, Andrasta laughed, as all the girls except Katerina moaned and almost doubled over in laughter as Anna and Simi now turned to follow Sarah through the park. Now having emotions, Torrin had to hold back his newfound laughter as he watched the almost family feeling he got when he watched the girls' conversation. Through the entire conversation, Katerina could only half-heartedly pay attention. The drunk part of her wanted to share in their usual banter, but another part of her was becoming even more aware of the night and the sounds in the air all around her. It had started in the car when they had pulled in, but she wasn't sure what was causing it. She looked around nervously, not seeing anything suspicious, but her eyes kept drawing her to one particular spot. She would bet everything she owned, which admittedly wasn't much, that something dark was lurking in the night. The odd thing was, even though she somehow knew that it was very close to them, and it did feel dark, but somehow didn't feel threatening.
Very nice. See? You did a good job.
Bad.
I spoke, I said awesome, and I clapped, but it was muted.
I know.
I had to find a funny part because, like, the part I would love to read is like somewhere in the middle, and we're not going to try to find that.
Don't you love me? You should read what I said last night.
Great.
You want me to read that for yours?
Yeah. Yeah.
Why don't you read it?
Because you love me so much.
Because I love you, or that you wrote it for me?
Because I wrote it for you.
Oh.
All right. Oh, you know what? And my daughter just left. I'm gonna have to get her again. Or should I call the thing? Watch. This is
thing
how
is a different thing. The Thing is in Antarctica, and you don't want that.
No, you don't.
What? We
That'd
have
be the end of the world.
Yeah, it's bad news.
I actually saw that one.
What is it? Like,
it's a horror movie.
Oh, okay. Because I was gonna say we have a
creature
thing
that basically is invisible and it's inside of you, and it's
Hey, I need you to come.
You don't want it to touch you.
Yeah, and then you become it, but they can't tell that you're it by looking at you, and you're
right. I was gonna say it's one of those things that
let's just say it doesn't like fire.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Which is probably
nothing does.
Right.
Okay, so Cassie was asking about the prizes, So no giveaway. Wait. I'm trying to read the.
She's saying that she doesn't read erotica, so if you pull her name for the book, that she would prefer that she doesn't receive it because she's not going to be comfortable reading it.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I totally get that. Not a problem at all. So my crazy haired Miss Mini Monster is going to pull the next name out, and this will be for an ebook.
She just came over and ate your food.
You eat my potatoes?
Mm-hmm. No shame in her game. I appreciate it.
Thanks for eating my potatoes. Get out. All right, so she actually pulled my friend Belinda Halverson's name for the ebook. So I'll have to get with her I'll have to get with her. So yeah, maybe we'll have to draw another one. Do you want the ebook, Belinda? Are you still there?
Why wouldn't she want the ebook?
Because she's got a paperback, and all my paperbacks come with a free ebook.
Oh.
So
do that.
Can't she gift it to someone?
She might be able to gift it to her, yeah.
Yeah, she might be able to gift it to someone.
All right, well, awesome. Yeah, because so I set it up so that if you purchase the paperback,
you automatically get the ebook.
Yeah, you get a free ebook.
See, mine won't let me do that. I set it up. If you get the paperback, you get the ebook for 99 cents. I tried to give it away, and actually I tried to give the ebook away. Period, and it was like the lowest I could go was $2.99. I'm thinking that's not fair. I've seen stuff for $99. I've seen it for free, and they're like, "Oh, you have to do a special to do that, but you can't. Couldn't make it that way." And I'm like,
you can make it perma-free, but it's like a whole thing. You have to get people you have to post it somewhere else free, and then get people to write to Amazon and say that it's offered for cheaper somewhere else, and it's a whole ordeal. And it takes as long as Amazon feels like taking it.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow. And I've never done that, but that's just my understanding based on reading about it.
I just gave up and said I'll do it for the lowest that I can do it.
Yeah.
I'm not happy about that though. I was like,
well,
you're kidding me.
When I set up my ebook, it said the lowest that I could go was $2.99.
Right.
But then when I set up my paperback copy, because I set up the paperback, or I set up the ebook first, and then when I did the paperback, like a week later, they said that I could offer the paperback for free. It's like a book match or something like that.
Right, but mine too. But it said mine that I could only do it for 99 cents.
Okay.
It wouldn't let me do the free option, which I don't think is fair because if you buy the paperback, I want you to have the ebook for free.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, and I was really excited about.
So Belinda said she'll take it for her mom.
Okay.
So that's good.
Yeah, I know. Her mom's gonna love it.
My mom probably would, but she would never tell anybody she did.
Right. That's how I think. Like, I seriously think my mom secretly read the 50 Shades of Grey. Yeah, but she'll never admit it. If she did, she would never admit it.
My mom got a hickey while I was in college, and she and my dad have been married for 40 years. So that's what I know about my mom.
Oh man, my kids, if I woke up one morning and I had a hickey, my kids would never forgive me for it. They would.
I didn't leave her alone. I made fun of her so much.
Oh, I know.
I would ignore like it never happened. Like I didn't see it. I'd be like,
my parents is like, aren't you too old for that? I'm like, honey, if you're too old for something like that, then love is dead.
You're probably just dead. That's probably all.
No, my kids would have it engraved on my urn. 39-year-old mother, hickey.
And here's the thing is, realistically, I'm sure she's had hickeys otherwise that I could not see. Yeah. There was just one that I could see dead on the side of her neck, like she had been necking with somebody in the back of a car.
Oh yeah. I remember in high school, like we were discussing, a friend of mine and I were discussing hickeys, and I was like, oh, they're so tacky, and that I didn't understand why girls, I mean, they would walk around with like a freaking necklace. And it was funny because she's like, oh yeah, if you're going to have a hickey, you got to get it where you can't see it. And what? Huh? I was a little naive in high school. So then as I got older, I was like, oh, and I had my own daughter. That's when I really, and she's like, so she comes home from school and she's like, Mom, are hickeys dangerous? Yes.
Yeah, they are.
Okay.
They actually are. They can cause blood clots.
Sure.
Yes.
It's not terribly common, but they could.
Right.
Hi, buddy.
Right.
I can't hold you. You're shedding up my nose.
I remember my grandma always telling me that hickeys can cause cancer. And so, yeah, I taught my daughter, like,
that there's also an old wives' tale that says that too much boob squeezing can cause breast cancer.
Oh,
that's a wives' tale, but yeah, it is a thing.
You know what though? Too much boob squeezing could cause
happiness.
Like, well, not only happiness, but they could totally find the breast cancer early.
Right.
Right.
Well, I had
found lumps who have discovered their wives' cancers.
Yeah. No, I had a couple ladies at the nursing home I worked at who didn't want to get mammograms done because they believed that having their boobs squashed in the mammogram machine would result in them getting cancer. And I'm like, no, that's the opposite of true.
Oh yeah. Yep. You're like, if you're having a mammogram and you have cancer, you already have it. So you might as well get as much boob squeezing as you can. Get it in there while it's still possible.
Yeah, get yourself taken care of. Don't have your boobs removed if you can fucking avoid it.
Oh yeah. So here's what I'm gonna do. I'll go next. Because I wanted to read my prologue, but it's so long that I think it needs to be done in 2 sections. So I'll go ahead and I'll read the first half of it, and then I'll read the second half of it. And I'll be perfectly honest with you, after the prologue, it gets dangerous. So
dang. She jumped right into it.
I just want you to be aware, lots of people skip the prologue. So a lot of people will say that your book starts dangerous.
Yes. Yes. And, you know,
that's true.
I didn't realize that people skip, like a lot of people skip the prologue. And unfortunately, if you skip my prologue, you're going to start reading the book and you're going to be like lost, because a lot of the mystery actually begins in the prologue. And then as you go through the prologue, it's all revealed. So it's like,
I'm a prologue reader. I love prologues.
I usually read them.
I'm like, do not cheat yourself by not reading the prologue. So
see, I struggle with that right now because Unknown Family technically has one, and I'm like, everybody's like, no, you should just make the first chapter. I'm like, that'd be the shortest first chapter ever. It'd be 2 pages. Like, it doesn't go with the beginning of the book, but you have to have it.
See, and I thought that the prologue, because it is a little bit longer than your traditional prologue, that maybe I should have made it the first chapter. But after doing some research from fellow author tubers, your prologue doesn't have to be short and it doesn't have to be long. It just has to kind of lead up to what's going on. So I made a long one.
It's considered incredibly cliche to start a horror novel with a prologue.
Oh, really?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Could you imagine?
It functions in horror like a singer functions, like that little clip that you see at the beginning of a horror movie before the title credits.
Okay.
It functions like that, and that is it's a very big turnoff for horror readers.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
See, I think I would like to have a little bit of like backstory on Jason before we just start, Yeah,
well, that's the thing with horror. You don't always, even by the end of the story, you may not know where the monster or whoever came from, and that's what people who read horror love. The lore, they don't always have a lot of lore because they don't know where stuff came from, and that's like, it's creepy. Like, I don't know where this thing is going to happen. Like,
it's creepy because
they do that in horror.
And horror fans also really like to get together and come up with theories.
They do.
Right.
They love that.
Right.
Yeah,
they love that. We can't give too much away. Like even that short story I just finished, I didn't even give away what the creature was or why it was happening to the dude. So it's kind of like that's the leave you hanging. They're like, oh my god, what, you know?
Yeah.
Right.
So
with encounters isn't horror, but I've definitely left you hanging as to who kidnapped her.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I can never write horror for that reason. I get
I remember the first time I watched Freddy, and he scared me. He scared me to death. Now, granted, I was already a natural insomniac, so I didn't have a problem not sleeping because I wasn't already sleeping. But when they introduced like the origins of Freddy, I think it was a turnoff because it was like, okay, this nun gets left behind in an insane asylum. It was like,
God, I know.
Yeah, it was just really hard for me to
massively
believe.
raped, apparently.
Yeah,
like, and then they're like, well, we don't know who Freddy's father was, but it's probably that dude who looks just like him. You know, like they had a dude in there who looked just like Freddy. Like, even though them raped her, that's probably his dad. Like, you know.
Yeah. So maybe like backstories on scary monsters isn't a good thing.
It depends. It's like Cthulhu horror. I mean, technically, you don't know where they come from. You know, they're like powerful beings and stuff like that. But or like my kid, but you know, they're powerful beings, but you don't know always about it. But they are some of the scariest type of horror that there is because you don't know and you can do nothing to them. So I mean, I like writing Cthulhu type horror.
Yeah.
And there's another scream from the monster. So but yeah, that's why.
She screams.
My favorite thing about writing horror is being able to count watching true crime documentaries and horror movies research.
Yeah.
Like, no, I'm doing research. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
My husband made a slasher film right before we got married. It was like while we were engaged. And so we watched slasher movies for like the first year and a half of our marriage. We watched nothing but slasher movies because he was filming and then editing this slasher movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so my style changed a lot during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah, that type of research and seeing that kind of stuff really does help, though. I think,
yeah.
Oh, yeah. My sister loves watching those crime investigation shows.
Oh, my God. My mom, too. Obsessively.
Yes. And I think, like, what is it? They've got an entire channel dedicated to
ID or
investigation.
Yeah. My mom watches them all. So
yeah. And when I
have a kid.
When I first found out that she was watching them, I was like, oh, that's totally cool. And as time has progressed, I'm like, she's plotting something, isn't she? I mean, she doesn't, but I'm surprised she doesn't have like a wall dedicated to this is what I will do. Her outline, her mess.
Yeah, research for her. She's
That's right.
She's not being entertaining, she's studying.
That's right. That's right. She's not an author, but she is doing some heavy research.
That's why I think Kira's books are so great right now. The story she's writing at 11, because my mom and her watch nothing but Law and Order. So I'm like, you're getting tons of research and you don't even realize it. Like how to get away with this and that.
Law and Order.
Oh yeah. Well, I've been asked on multiple occasions where I do my research for my writing, and you know, I can tell you that I have done a lot of research into like the Nordic belief system, and I can tell you the basics like that. And then they're like, well, where do you do your research for those scenes? And I just look at them like Google.
Right.
You should just start sending them a direct link to X Hamster. Because a lot of people don't know that one, and it's got hamster in it, so they think, oh, it's gonna be fun.
Oh,
and
man.
here's all the dogs.
I know. But okay, so I'm going to get started with this because it is pretty long. So I'll do the first half, and then we'll raffle off the. You think we should do the playing cards next?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so I will read this and then I will raffle off the playing cards. And like everyone else, it's been a while since I've read a children's story. I think DL is probably going to be like the best reader because
don't be putting me on the spot.
She's got, well, no, because Tamara, you have a little one too, don't you?
Nope.
Oh, okay.
No kid.
Okay. Sorry. I thought maybe I'm getting them. I'm sorry. Maybe I got you confused with someone else. My bad.
That don't mean I'll be a good reader. That's not even. We'll see what happens, but I'm not making promises or nothing.
Because kids don't catch your mistakes. You can just roll on like nothing happened.
It's okay. I'm not nervous. I don't really get nervous, so it's cool. And I'll go next after you're done. So
my kids call me out on everything.
They will. They're kids.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Like if
they have no filter. So
yeah, if I try to change the story just the slightest little bit, I get called out on it. That's not how it goes.
Like, well, why don't you read it yourself then?
I know, right? Yeah.
I used to have my son read the bedtime stories. I'm supposed to read to him. He's reading them to me and falling asleep.
Yeah. I was going to say, don't tell your child to read it themselves because they will. And then they'll never ask you to read to them again. It's the curse. It's the curse of having a Libra daughter. Okay. All right, so let's get started. Okay. Whew, here we go. I am startled by hold on, let me start over again. I am startled by the feeling of a cold, wet hand on my skin. Mommy, Mommy. I look into the misty forest of my heart song's eyes. You finished your bath so soon, Moondrop? Time stands still as I watch her lips turn up into a smile, her eyes growing large with excitement. A little giggle sneaks out of her, and time is thrown back into the usual pace. Well, my love, I guess it's time to get tucked in. But Mama, you forgot our story. I pause and look at her confused. A story? What do you mean I forgot our story? Mina's face becomes concerned. Mama, are you sick with fever tonight? I smile at her. No, Mina. Why? Before she can answer, I hear Julia let out a giggle. My heart sinks, knowing she has caused my game to come to an end. Come, get your blanket, and I will tell you a story. The sound of little feet running out of the room fills my heart with joy. Emmeline, are you feeling okay? You do appear to be off in a distant world tonight. I'm fine, Julia. It is true that I am fine, but the world seems off tonight. Silas, Levi's new business partner, had a bed delivered to the house this morning. It's a gift to Mina, an olive branch between our two homes, I guess. I hear Mina come back from the other room, giggles along with the patter of bare feet on the stone floor. I am ready, Mama. I turn and look at her as she runs through the door. Her raven black hair is wildly bouncing around as she runs with her blanket in tow. I stop thinking about Silas's gift and focus for a moment about how much I will miss these little gifts of innocence as Mina grows older. I love the love I have for my child fills me with so much joy that it almost breaks my heart knowing that she will one day be claimed by her betrothed and will go to a faraway land to start her own life and family. I follow Mina as she runs around the new bed that was gifted to her, wrapping her blanket around her shoulders like a wizard's cloak. Rounding the bed again, she giggles and draws her attention to the window. Caw, caw! Mina stops and smiles at the window. Good night, Mr. Raven. She slowly tiptoes to the window, making a strange gurgling croak, followed by another caw. Smiling, Mina stands, looking out the window. I look to see what is out there. To my amazement, there is an enormous raven perched on the ledge, staring at Mina, making the same gurgling, followed by a caw. Thank you for being my best friend, Mr. Raven. I hear it answer her with a gravelly call. I love you too. See you tomorrow. Another gravelly call, and it flies off into the night. Mina turns and skips back over to me. Did you see my friend, Mama? His name is Mr. Raven. He watches me when I am outside playing, and sometimes when I close my eyes, I can see the world from way up high into the sky like Mr. Raven. That is fascinating, Mina. How long have you been friends? She looks at me confused. We have been friends for as long as I can remember. She stands. She hands me her blanket, and I wrap it around and then scoop her little body into my lap. Do you have other animal friends, Mina? She smiles at me. Well, last week I started seeing a baby bear on the edge of the woods. Papa always says to stay away, but no matter how far away I go, it follows me. So I did the same game I play with Mr. Raven, and it worked. I knew that the baby bear was looking for me and wanted to have some lunch. So I went to the kitchen, took some fish and fruit, and set it on the stump. I waited to see if I told the baby bear in my mind where the food was, if he would find it. I looked down at her, very interested in her story. Well, did it work? Mina pulls her blanket up over her mouth, hiding her smile. Well, did it, Mina? Her little giggle slips out. Of course it did, Mama. And Mr. Raven was even invited by Baby Bear to share in his picnic. I look over to Julia, who is tidying up the room. Did you know about this, Julia? Mina has been coming up with wild tales, Miss Emmeline. Children do that. It just shows that her imagination is growing. Disappointed in the fact that Julia neglected to tell me about Mina's tales, I dismiss her for the night. Mama, please, I don't want to talk about my friends anymore. I want to hear the story. I wait, listening to her, the door close. Listening to hear the door close. So I know we are alone. What story do you want to hear tonight? The story, Mama. Oh, you mean the story about the rat who stole the princess? Mina's face twists in disgust. No, Mama, you know what story I'm talking about. Oh, I know. Oh, that story. Well, let me see if I remember it. She giggles and settles into her blanket. A long time ago, when the world was still new, the goddess Danu made love to her beloved and became pregnant. Unlike the times when she birthed the planets and all of the stars, this time her belly grew very large, just like the human creatures she loved so much. When it was time, great pains filled Danu's body. After a long time, a child came into the universe, but he was no ordinary child. Danu's child was much larger than a human child, and Danu's children were born with wings. They were truly magnificent creatures, and Danu loved them more than anything in creation. Over time, Azil grew jealous of Danu's sons and sent them all to Earth, giving each son a job to do. Thousands of years went by, and the sons of Danu began to grow jealous of the humans they reigned over and protected. One night, Danu visited her sons and asked them why their hearts were so heavy. We want wives of our own, Mother Goddess. Danu knew that she could not create living creatures on Earth without the consent of her husband, but she decided to do it anyway. Danu took a rib from each son, used the marrow of each bone to create her son a mate. Why did she need the marrow to make a mate for her sons? Danu used the marrow of the bones so that each son's mate would be bound to him with a bond that would last forever. You do not hate your own hand, correct? I look down at Mina as she wiggles her hands out of the wrap. I watch her look at it and smile. No, Mama, I like my hand. It helps me find my treasures. She giggles again, and I continue the story. When Azil Uzziah found out what Danu had done behind his back, he became so angry the entire planet shook, and the people of Earth were in darkness for 3 months. Does Azil still get mad like that, Mama? I can hear a little shaking in her voice. I look down, and she is hiding deeper in her blanket. He hasn't been that angry for a long time, so I don't think we need to worry about it happening again. Mina smiles and lowers her blanket. When the sun did finally shine again, the world had changed. By one, the sons of Danu began to vanish, and the world was thrown into chaos, not having strong leaders to guide the people. Almost 100 years passed, with war and chaos destroying the world. Then one day, a son of Danu emerged from the chaos. He traveled the lands, explaining the will of Azil and searching for a woman, his promised bride. Mina squirms and giggles over hearing about the promised bride. I lean down and kiss her nose, knowing it's her heart fluttering that causes her to giggle. When the son of Danu finally found his promised bride, he loved her with a love that was so intense, a new planet was created just for them. Mina lets out another giggle, and I am filled with joy hearing her happy, knowing that it's her soul speaking to her. Then what, Mama? The bride was only an infant when he found her, so the son of Danu promised her family that he would make sure they never wanted for anything. In return, they would raise her in the ways of Azil, and when she was 21, he would return to win her hand for himself. Did the parents agree to do as he asked? Of course. You don't say no to the son of Danu. They raised their daughter in the ways of Azil, and on her 21st birthday, the son of Danu returned and won the hand of his bride. I told you it was long.
Now, I couldn't help but grin because I'm like, when you're reading it, I'm like, I read this.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you did. You did.
Do you write poetry too?
No. I probably maybe should try it.
Some of the way that you say things is really poetic.
Oh, thank you. Mm-hmm. Okay, Mama, do you think her parents were sad when she left? I looked down into Mina's dark green eyes. I know they were sad, but they were happy at the same time. Tears well in my eyes and burn as I try to fight them back. I will be sad one day when you leave my home to start your own family, but I will be overjoyed at the same time. Mina's face becomes serious. You have nothing to worry about, dear Mama. I won't ever leave you and Papa. Just then, the door opens and the sound of heavy boots walking excites Mina. She jumps off my lap, dropping her blanket onto the ground and runs to the music of her Papa. Papa, Papa, I have missed you so much today. Why aren't you in bed, little Mina? Levi lifts Mina into the air and the room is filled with squeals of joy. Mama was telling me a story, and I had to wait for you, Papa, to give me my kisses goodnight. I stand, my heart filled with joy, watching them together. Levi cradles Mina in his arms and carries her back toward me. Papa, you are a huge man. Do you think you are a son of Danu, the mother goddess? I watch as he looks down into her eyes. Looks down into the eyes of his only heir. What will he tell her tonight? She is such a smart girl. Princess, you know the answer in your heart. You must find it for yourself. He looks at her and kisses her forehead, then looks at me and winks. Are you excited about sleeping in your new bed, Princess? Mina twists her face. The carvings are scary, Papa. Scary? I did not teach you to be scared of things, my love. I know, Papa, but it smells funny, and there are weird faces on it. Levi looks at his pride and joy, then up at me. Princess Mina, let me look at these faces. I will tuck you in and check your room for monsters, but I know firsthand your mother has worked hard making sure that every nook and cranny of this room is safe. No evil could ever get in. Levi stops only for a moment to kiss me, then walks over to the bed, standing Mina on the mattress. Levi walks around the frame, inspecting the characters. One by one, he tells Mina who they are and what they symbolize. Satisfied, Mina lays down, and I watch my husband take care of his little princess as no other man would. He loves her with every bit of his being and makes me so happy that he is not disappointed that she is not a boy. Papa, please don't leave me. Please tell me a story so I can go into the dream world hearing your voice. Mina, it's late and I am tired. I promise if you close your eyes and go to sleep, tomorrow I will tell you 3 stories. I can see from where I am standing, a tear rolls down her face, and I know what she will say. She will be brave for her papa, and she won't make another sound until the sun shines through her window. Will you tell me the story about the warrior king and the princess tomorrow, Papa? I will tell you any story you want to hear. Levi leans in and kisses his Mina. He closes her eyes, and I hear them recite a children's prayer to Azil. Levi stands, and as he reaches for her oil lamp, Mina reaches up and wraps her tiny hand around his finger. Mina, I have to turn out the light. She is still holding eye contact with her papa. But what did I teach you about the dark? There is nothing in the dark that isn't there in the light. Mina releases his hand. I hear him tell her one last time, good night, my love. I walk over to the door and open it, lighting his way into the room. Good night, my heart's song. I will see you in the morning. I love you, my Mina. I close the door and walk over to Levi, who is undressing for the night. Please, Emmeline, I can feel your anxiety from here. He lets go of his pants, letting them fall to his knees. He sits on the edge of the bed, and I help remove his boots and pants. Levi stands, goes to the shower. I follow him. The water begins to run, and I feel it's safe to talk to him now. Mina won't hear my words. I think I'm going to have to stop there. So anyway, they get into a shower, and they have a conversation. Emmeline expresses her anxiety. Okay, so it says, I haven't been able to concentrate. I don't feel like it. I watch as Levi washes his hair. He hands me the sponge and turns back to me so I can clean it for him. Emmeline, my darling, I am the lord of this realm. Don't you think I would know if evil had found its way into my home? Yes, but he turns looking to me with those eyes that make me forget about all the cares of the world. Listen to me, priestess. I will never let anything harm my family. Levi reaches up, taking my wrist to his hand, pulling me into the water with him, holding me against his bare chest. What are you doing? My night clothes are soaked. I begin to laugh. So they take a shower. He kisses her earlobes. He's distracting her. Everything is good. She's like, hey, I want to talk about your business partner. He says, why are you bringing my business partner into my shower? I am not. I am just... Before I get the rest out, my thoughts are lost on the pleasures of Levi's kissing my neck. I want to do... Yep. Then they wash their hair, and yeah, so I will stop there, and then towards the end, if everybody wants to hear the second half of the prologue, I will.
That was really good. I like that.
They do, yep.
Well, that's not the terrible part. none of it's terrible. It's just
not graphic part.
Yeah, well,
no explicit.
It is. Yeah, it is. It is the more tamer of the parts. So okay. Ouch! Ow! I just like killed my
bunny bone.
Oh my gosh! So, did we get any new watchers while I was giving my monologue?
I don't think anyone new has commented.
Okay. All right. So I'll just do my other one. See how I've got them kind of crumbled in my singing bowl?
Yeah.
Did you call it your singing bowl?
Yeah, it's a singing bowl. You want to hear it?
The one with the on top.
Oh, yeah. Yeah? Here. Let me see if I can.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love it.
Nice.
Yeah, and it like helps you. This one helps you to be like grounded and more centered. And my dogs hate it.
Oh yeah, they usually do.
They really hate it.
And then I've got a smaller one, but I can never I can't. I've only gotten it to sing twice. So I don't know. All right. So what are we giving away this time? I've done the cards. Yes.
Yep. Cards.
So for the cards, for all the poker fanatics, we have author Morgan Lee.
Thanks.
Morgan's winning all the things.
I know. She
all the goodies.
That's her reward for being the first time on my stream last night when we were all fucking out of control.
Yeah. She was so cute because she's like sitting in the middle and we're all talking and she just watching me. It was so adorable.
I know.
Poor girl. She doesn't know us like that.
I feel bad when someone new is on and we're especially rambunctious.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But I mean, I don't know, because now she knows that it's totally cool. So next week, if she joins us, she's gonna like be rambunctious and cool.
Well, it's also just some people are more likely to sit and take in what's going on than to participate. Yeah. And that's just, I mean, and that's fine.
Yeah.
I'm always like, I hope they don't think we're just being like assholes or something.
See my crown. I unfortunately am the queen of assholism. So
yeah, and that's what I thought, Morgan, is that it's like you just have to like kind of get comfortable in the conversation before you participate or whatever. And that's totally cool, and that might be a skill I should adopt.
And sometimes it just depends on how you're feeling, because like sometimes I'm more quiet than others because of work. So
yeah, and like there are a million reasons that people have different moods and things like that.
Yeah.
So
I think that the first time I streamed with you guys, I you know, when you were the new person in a circle of friends, it's kind of like you gotta just stand on the outside, feeling everybody out, and so that's So but watch next time.
Growing wall. It's amazing.
I didn't understand what you said.
I missed the first part of that.
I said our little circle is growing. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's way fun. I like having like, we don't know who's going to be on streams, and like everyone knows that they're welcome to join when they can, and like I like that a lot.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
This is the first stream I was ever on was on Sarah's. I've never done it before, so it was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
The first time I ever was live was on your channel. And apparently my computer loves you so much that it won't let
We're going to get it figured out.
It's like, no, I will only stream with Sarah or nothing.
Because the first time I ever seen anybody live streaming was Tamara's, and she's all making it look easy, talking, by herself and having a conversation.
I say that all the time, Tamara. You're like a magician.
Yeah, and I get on and I'm like, I got nothing to say.
Yeah, I don't know how you manage to like be on by yourself. When I started my streams, CJ was on them because I was like, I can't just sit and talk to myself, so you're going to stream with me.
Yeah. What is your secret?
I talk a lot. I'm not afraid to embarrass myself. And I drink coffee. No, you guys should have seen, like, if you go in the archives and see like the first live streams, they're different.
Yeah.
They're very different. I'm very awkward. I feel totally uncomfortable. One, I ended very quickly. I might have even deleted that one. I streamed for like 20 minutes and I was like, there's nobody here. I'm just talking to myself. What I'm gonna do.
Yeah.
And, oh my God.
My solo ones, I think I'm just a clown in general, so it is what it is, kind of thing. So all of my solo videos, you just see me being who everybody else who sees me in real life has to deal with.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can ask my daughter. I talk to myself all the time. Like, we're goofy as hell, and it's like, why can I not do that? Like, I clam up when I get by myself on stream. I'm like, why can I not just be me?
Yeah.
But here, I'm more rambunctious when I'm by myself. When I'm in a group, I just don't want to talk over people, and because I have a tendency to do that.
Yeah,
so I do too. I just have no shame.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if you have someone that, like, for example, I'm very comfortable with you guys now, so I can engage easily. But at first, I was always, it was weird. So it's nice having people in your group that are outgoing and can ham it up on a live stream. Otherwise, you've got a whole lot of like
dead air.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nobody likes that.
My first time that I live stream with my Right Stuff group, I just had like an open, hey, whoever wants to stream can do it, and we'll talk about books or whatever. And there was maybe 6 people, and only one other person was talking with me. And then like some random person had joined because I didn't realize that it was public to join.
Yes.
I didn't know this setting existed. So if you look at the bottom of your screen and you see all the little us's, right? So I'm here like trying to get, people talking with me. And I didn't realize at first, but I'm getting these frantic messages like, it's fair, you gotta do something about this. You gotta do something about this. And I'm like, what are they talking about? And I look in the bottom right, and there's some guy like being friendly with himself.
Oh God.
Vigorously friendly.
What?
Nice. That's not surprising.
Oh, no, it's really not.
Anything like that before. Yeah. I did not know what to do. I did not handle my shit very well. I was just like push buttons. I'm so sorry.
Push all the buttons.
Could you see him?
Like, I was able to kick him out and block him and everything, but yet you could see him.
That was on your stream was a dude just making sweet love to himself.
Oh my God.
Fergus was on there with me, and she was like, I don't know who you are, but we have kids and children who watch these streams, and you need to get yourself together. And she's saying that while I'm over here.
Picture alive.
Oh no!
I mean, that happens.
People look for opportunities to do that.
I know, man. It's terrible.
You can just go up from there. That was
definitely. Yeah. Oh my God. You should have been like, you know what? If you're gonna do that stuff on my live stream, you need to super chat me. Super chat me. Okay? A minimum of $500.
That was before chats.
Oh man.
Get rid of him. I'm like, at least be worthy of us looking at you. You're not impressive.
I know, please.
He wasn't impressive either. It was just bad all around.
Oh man. Seriously. It's probably just as bad as like when you put yourself out there as so when I first started writing, I was only going to write like erotic stories. And this story just kind of took a life of its own and it morphed into something completely different. And now it's like, it's more of a fantasy romance with graphic details than like, but I got so many weird private messages. Pictures were sent to me and I would like open them up, like in Facebook Messenger. One of my groups, you know, you could send me messages on my Facebook Messenger. And I remember my husband and I were laying in bed. We were watching television. I got a Facebook message and I was like, this is kind of weird. I open it and I'm looking at it this way and I'm looking at it that way. And I thought maybe it was one of those optical illusion pictures. And I finally show it to my husband, and I'm like, what is this? And he looks at me and he's like, it's a wiener, Dana. Don't you know what a wiener looks like?
What was it? Weird looking? She's like,
yeah, because it was like curved. So I thought it was like the stem, and then it looked like there was a flower on the end of it.
Poor Jasmine, she like was freaking out. Like she's going,
dying laughing because she thought it was a magical illusion.
oh,
I can't breathe.
Yeah,
when I start laughing, I can't breathe. So I'm just trying to like get my asthma in check.
Jazz has to sit down on her computer, laugh her ass off, try to breathe, and then put it on her face.
Don't feel bad. That happened to me last night. I had to cut off everything to go get to my inhaler. I don't know who said what last night.
Yeah. Like, my husband, he looked at me and he's like, wait a minute. You went to nursing school. You were a certified nursing assistant for like 10 years and you didn't know what this was? I mean, literally. And I was just like, why? Why are you sending me this? It's not even pretty.
They don't care. If I could count how many dick pictures I've gotten, being a dancer too.
Yeah.
People knowing who you are, like they're gonna send. And dudes I worked with when I used to work as a sauce cook for Hanover Foods. Dude I worked with was like after I had left and stuff. He kept trying to flirt with me. I'm like, dude, leave me alone. You're a kid. Go away. And then it's like he's a friend on Facebook and he messaged me one day out of the blue. It's a picture of his dick. I'm like, did you somehow think I wanted to see that?
Right.
Did you think it was a prize?
I've never heard a story where that was the thing that did it.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
I've never heard a story where somebody was like, I got a mystery dick pic and now we're married.
I'm smitten.
Yeah, I've never seen that.
A guy wouldn't leave me alone, and suddenly I saw that and it was on.
We were married 2 weeks later. No.
Right.
That's not what
Nothing
happens. That doesn't happen.
You know, that's what I'm gonna say the next time I get one. I'm gonna be like, does that actually work for you?
I said that already. I probably said everything at this point. Like,
yeah.
I got back in the old days. I got a call, a random call. Like they're trying to do to just like shock value and say something really nasty.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, I'm not
calling the wrong person.
He really did. I'm like, and I was like 21, you know, I'm still a kid, and he called and I can't say what he said. And so I'm like, really? Tell me more. Like, slam.
Wrong one.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, I'm with you guys. It's like, does that really work? I mean, seriously,
I don't know.
Are there women out there who
nobody's probably ever gotten success from it?
I don't know. I'd like to talk to someone who has gotten successes. I would be completely shocked.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
shocked.
That'd be a great story, honestly.
Yeah. Like, that's how I met my husband.
And you know, right? So many guys to do it. Some guy had to have said, yeah, it worked. That's how I got my wife.
How I met my stalker.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
There you go. There's your murder mystery right there.
That's a good way to start it for sure.
That's what did it. I killed him because of it.
Oh my god.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so who wants to go next? Do we have any volunteers?
I will go next. Mine's really short, so it'll be short and sweet. This is the cover. I'm gonna try to put it up there where you guys can see it. I have it on my iPad. So I'm gonna try to lean it down because it shines. Like, I don't even know if I can do this. Like, you may not be able to see it. It's just going to reflect my screen. So I'm trying to put it. So it's going to reflect backwards, but it's called When Fireflies Mingle.
It isn't backwards. It's actually forward for us.
Yeah.
Is it? Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only backwards for yourself.
Okay, cool. That works then. It's purple. I don't know if you can see the color because of course I can't tell if you can.
Yeah, and the color's kind of washed out, but I think that's just the way
it would be. But it has a tagline on it. It says a forbidden love that won't be denied. So it's for a series, like I said, the Forbidden Love series. So I'm just gonna read the blurb for it. So it'll give you an idea of the story. And the story is it is a fantasy romance, and it is fae based and a alternate human world. So like the other world in the story is they're humanoid, I should say. Here we go. I'll fight for you, no matter who means to keep us apart. This I swear. In the world of the Fae sits a kingdom called Mysticaria, where magic, flying, and beauty is a part of everyday life, as well as suits and evening parties. The Fae can explore many worlds at will, making them very cultured beings. They are known for their laws, one main law being explore and learn, yet never touch. Lucas Casey is a level-headed modern prince of his people, or at least it would seem to everyone's eyes. Lucas never wanted to be the heir to the throne. He only wanted to live his life exploring other worlds. During one of Lucas's exploring adventures to the world of Theris, he happens upon beautiful Lelia Sweeney. Lelia Sweeney is strong-willed and defiant to the end, and she will have Lucas Casey no matter what her family or the world thinks. She is heiress to one of the 4 world kingdoms, and her father will not take kindly to this new defiance. Lucas is the next in line to take the throne. His father will hear nothing of his unwillingness to exceed him. It's his duty and birthright. Lucas and Lelia's love cannot be denied, though their worlds and families are at war. Earthers hate the Fae for their unpredictability and open use of magic. The Fae hate Earthers for their violent ways and unwillingness to coexist with any other beings. Their worlds are forever changed upon meeting, and neither family will hear of it. As war breaks out, Lucas and Lelia are caught in the middle. They will have to fight the impossible to stay together or give up love, a forbidden love that will not be denied. That's it. So that one should be fun. It's going to be a series. The second book in the series is called When Wolves Dance. Mm-hmm. That one's shifter based, and then the third book is When Death Calls.
Right on. That was really good. I'm very excited.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. All right. So, do we have any more? I think Shannon Caper was the last new.
Shannon is, I believe, the last new person who.
Okay. All right. So this one is going to be for another candle. Yeah.
Ooh,
a candle.
I want the candle.
I know. They are totally awesome.
Yeah, I'm so jealous. I looked up candles for everywhere to try to do with my book for my swag, and it just wasn't happening without going online and paying a bunch.
Mm-hmm. I will make sure that we put her Etsy shop in the description.
Okay.
I'm like looking around. But she is very reasonably priced. Her name is, I want to say it's Hillary. There she is. We'll put all of her information in there. She's not free by any means, but she is very reasonably priced. So, all right, here we go.
Here we go, yeah. Here we go, yeah.
All right.
Aphrodite's doing your picking music.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'm gonna get my daughter. I'm gonna call her in because I have just Let me get her. I like her to be a little bit more. Watch this. What? I have just.
Hello?
Hey, I need you to come draw a name for me.
Okay, I'll be there in a minute.
Okay.
She's pretty calm about it.
Oh man, I wonder if
but she said she'll be there in a minute, and then teenagers speak. That could be like 4.5 hours.
Yeah.
Oh no. No, I run my house like a correctional officer maybe. If I tell them come, they're coming now. So yeah. She's a turkey.
Mama don't play.
I don't have time for that. It's like if I am sitting around waiting on them, like we've been on here for what, an hour and a half, 2 hours. If she doesn't have the floors swept and mopped by the time I get off of here, I'm gonna have to like go into Mama Bear mode. Hi, hun. You ready? All right. I need one name. And the name is all right. You're not going to believe this.
Uh-oh. Is it Morgan again?
Is it Morgan?
Yes. Oh, man.
Lucky.
You know what? I know what it is. Morgan was a very, powerful sorceress? Is that what you
Probably. Morgana.
Oh, yeah. We definitely are lucky. That's what it is. Well, awesome. You are super, super lucky, Miss Morgan Lee. So
we Lees are lucky.
Yeah. Clearly, I need to change my name. Oh my goodness. All right. So we have Aphrodite, Tamara, and Jasmine still to go.
I was gonna try to read from the book, but I can't see very well, so I have to pull mine up on the computer and blow it up so if someone can go before me so I can prepare, I'll do it after the next person.
Okay. All right. So Tamara or Jasmine?
I am trying to get my tablet to open.
Amber, if you have mine up, you can go.
Let's get on my nerves.
All right. And Morgan Lee has said that I can give the candle to, I can draw again for the candle. So I will.
You're also generous.
Yes, you are. It's because she is so generous. She has been blessed.
Take her name out this time so you don't just redraw her.
Oh. Oh man. So did I saw a comment about being audible. Do you think my voice is good enough to do an audiobook?
No, Cassie was saying that she was taking us to the grocery store. I was like, hey, we've become audible. Because we were reading at the time.
They just won't be as expensive.
Is audible?
It's like I think it's like $14.99 or $13.99 a month.
Wow.
Yeah,
it's not cheap.
That's more than Netflix.
Well, Netflix just went up to like $12.99 or $13.99 a month.
Yeah.
Oh my God, people start messaging me.
Yeah. So what do you guys prefer paperbacks or do you prefer ebooks?
I love paperback personally, as you can see in the background.
Me too.
Yeah.
I think my mom wishes I preferred ebook more than paperback.
Yeah, sounds like my mom.
I have my house. My apartment is lined. Every room is lined with books. I don't have any bookshelves. They're just stacked. tower high. Some of them are like 6 feet high.
I just like turning the pages. I love turning the pages and smelling the book while I'm reading, and that's just my core.
Yeah. No, I love that too. I love to feel the paper in my hands, but every now and again I get so overwhelmed with them that I start putting them, like, we have those free libraries in people's yards. So I'll like stuff them full. Like my kids, they weren't reading their little children's books anymore.
Yeah.
Just to give you an example, my oldest biological child is 17, and I just now donated his first like little kids book. I hold on to
let that stuff go, you know.
Yeah, I hold on to so much stuff, but I was like, you know what? He's never going to read this again. I'm not going to have grandchildren anytime soon, because if I do, I will have dead children. And I am not. Everybody keeps telling me that grandkids are the most awesomest things, but I am not even ready for that.
My mom said you can give them back, so
yeah.
My dad says that if things worked the way they should, that you would get grandkids before kids.
Yeah, because they're easier, you know.
You don't feel that way about grandkids until you actually get one, because my aunt do not make me a grandmother until I got my grandkid, and I'm like, I don't even like my kid anymore.
Yeah.
It's like the grandkid is absolutely like the most amazing creature ever born.
Well, stuff I noticed the grandparents, like the grandkids could be doing the same thing you did or worse, and they'll be like, oh, blah blah blah. But if it was you, you'd be like, you know what?
Oh yeah.
Stop. You know.
Oh yeah. No, I am just not ready for grandkids. So I gave away his little book, and I mean there are some that I will never give away. Like he loved the foot book, and what was it, 3 apples up on top. So yeah, so there are some that I will just never give away, but I don't mind. And then the other day when I said I had to call 911 because there was an apartment fire, this is like a low income housing apartment, and so they have the free libraries on like their end of it. So I'm always stuffing books into those because everyone needs a book, and
they do. You're right.
Yeah, so it's like, hey, I've got more than I'll ever use. So
you're talking about that you just donated your son's children's book. I have my children's book.
Yeah.
Yep. Me too. I still have
brought me.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. My Disney ones. I got all my Disney books when I was a kid.
I might have a slight problem.
Yeah. Oh no, my mom, she has all the children's books from when we were kids. She kept a hold of, and she read them to her grandchildren.
Oh my God. Just a quickie little like book story. When I was in kindergarten, I went to Catholic school my entire life, so we had like religion classes. And one of my religion books, there was a question in it about like your family and people that you love, and you had to draw a picture of everybody in your family that you love. And when I was about, I'm going to say 20 or so, I found the book again, and I was looking through it, and there's a picture. There's me, a drawing of me, of course, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister, and Michael Jackson.
Oh, that was awesome.
It was a kindergarten book.
Yeah,
Michael Jackson in there, and it's like, oh my God! So I have to keep that book until I die.
Yeah. I keep that too.
All right, so let me redraw real quick for Morgan's candle. Morgan will be donating her candle to DL Tillery.
Hey!
I love candles.
Yeah.
Thank you, Morgan.
Pretty cool chick, man.
And this candle, the combination that was used is lavender, peppermint, and sandalwood.
Oh my God, I love all of those. Lavender's my favorite. So.
Oh, it is.
It's going right here on my desk.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So who is going to read next?
I'll read next.
Awesome.
So I'm going to read from Blood Roses and Honeysuckles. I released this book in September of last year, I think. And I'm going to try to do that thing where I share the screen so you can see the cover. And we'll see if it works.
I know
that.
I'm not doing that. Anything.
Yeah, you have to teach me, Tamara, how you do that. Like, I have no idea.
I never feel like I'm doing it right.
But you always do it right.
I always get to it eventually or by mistakes.
Yeah, don't give me any credit. It's definitely by mistake. All right. Great. That says share. So I should be screen sharing.
Yeah.
You can see it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Doing it. Yes. All right. So that's Blood Roses and Honeysuckles.
Yeah, I like that cover.
Thank you.
Yeah, I like that cover. It's really cool. I like how the burning's happening at the corners. That's cool.
The burning is incredibly important. My main character, her name is Addie. She lives in a small town in West Virginia, and she, at the beginning of this book, she finds herself in a hospital in the burn unit, and she can't remember what's happened to her and how she got there, why she was there, how long she's been there. So that is a bit of what I'm going to share with you. That part being in the hospital. All right. I must have dozed off for a few minutes, days. When I opened my eyes again, a different person stood looking at my chart. This time, the outfit was much less whimsical, the face much more masculine. Doctor, maybe? Hello, doctor, I said. He doesn't smile or offer any words of encouragement. I can tell this guy must be really fun at parties. Do you remember your name? He asked, his voice abrupt. No frills with this guy. My name? Of course I remember my name. I stopped. This wasn't what I'd expected. What was my name? It was wrapped in the flimsy gauze with my emotions. What else was locked in there? You don't remember? I shook my head. He sighed. Adeline. Your name is Adeline. You're at the Ruby Memorial Hospital in the burn recovery unit. Adeline felt wrong, too formal. That was the name on my birth certificate, only pulled out for traffic stops and telemarketers. I didn't bother correcting him. It felt useless and entirely too much effort. Besides, I had a few questions of my own. How long have I been here, doctor? I asked. You've been here in the burn unit for a little over 2 months. You're having trouble recalling information because you were in an accident. He kept speaking in that flat, no-nonsense tone, but my mind stopped and tripped over burn unit and accident. The latter kept flipping over and over in my head and brought waves of heat. Burning heat. I started shaking, and when I looked down at my legs, I saw them with the flesh burned off, bits of bone showing, my skin torn, and the smell, my charred flesh, burned bacon that would keep me off this stuff for years. I started screaming, unable to control my voice. My weak voice, husky from smoke insulation, made me sound more like a mad barking dog than a human. My screams did stop the doctor's words. He started shouting for a nurse. I think one rushed in and pushed something into my IV, but I couldn't see past the blackened mess of my legs. So that was from the chapter 1. The blood
yeah, I was gonna say that is good.
I like that. That was good.
I like the characters. The character seems very real because of the personality traits. Mm-hmm. Like probably I would say that she was she has a sense of humor for sure. And even in a situation that's not forgotten, even though her name was forgotten. So I really did like that part. So I'm gonna have to read that.
A dry sense of humor.
Yeah, she does have a dry sense of humor. And she's a drinker. And she does the most. She does.
She does the most.
That is so awesome. All right. She's a drinker. Did you say she was a drinker?
Yeah.
All right on. Well, if she's from West Virginia, she is definitely drinking some good water.
Good water.
I could tell y'all so many stories about moonshine, but
oh yeah,
right.
Oh, I've got a cousin. I've got lots of cousins, but I've got a very specific cousin who gave me this stuff and it was potent, like thimble potent, and it tasted just like warm apple pie. And I was just like,
Really?
oh yeah, but you could have fueled my truck off of it for thousands of miles.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah. And he's like, it's smooth. So I took a little sip and I was like, it burns.
It burns good. Yeah.
I
Moonshine.
ate cherry that had been soaked in moonshine for like, I don't even know how long it was soaked. The cherry actually didn't even look real anymore. It looked like, you know how you buy the fake fruit, real expensive.
Uh-huh.
For some reason, people like to have it. That's what the cherry wound up looking like.
What?
I ate that bad boy. I have no memory of whatever happened next.
Oh wow.
And it was a cherry.
Oh my god.
Oh wow.
At my best friend's wedding, there was quite the assortment of moonshine, all kinds of different flavors. It was magical.
That sounds like an interesting wedding.
We sang karaoke. The minister got wasted, and his brother had to help him up.
Like I said, interesting wedding.
Oh yeah.
Like I was watching my brother help this man up, and the way he did it. I was like, you've done this before. You've picked up quite a few drunks off the floor. He was just like right there, like bam. Because the dude, I don't even know what he was doing, but he fell off like the side of the porch and onto the concrete. He was a mess.
Ow.
He ended up going somewhere. He was
Oh man.
Oh my god.
he walked. We
He
were
had to
out in
walk, I
like
would
the
think.
middle of a park in like the woods,
Wow. Okay, so let's do the second ebook, and then we'll let Aphrodite read. Oh, I know. I'm really excited. I'm really excited about Aphrodite's read because out of the whole book, she's got like a few pages in the front that's safe.
This is actually pretty true.
All right. So Cassie did it to herself. All right, Cassie. So I'll draw another one for the ebook. Okay. So I've got them folded so tightly. I'm like, Shannon Caper, author.
Awesome.
Is she still here?
Probably.
She was recently, so
Okay. All right. As long as she's cool with getting a erotic romance, she will be getting a free ebook version.
Oh, she said we grew, so she's here.
Awesome.
oh,
So
yep, she's still here.
awesome.
I'll read it.
See?
Awesome. So send me the email address you'd like me to send it to, and I will get that out to you. And then please don't forget to leave a review because reviews are an author's best friend.
Yes.
Yes.
They
Yeah,
are.
if you guys have mine, please review it. Even no matter what you have to say.
Right.
Yeah. Good, bad, indifferent.
Yep.
Yep.
You don't like it, you don't like it. It's not for everybody.
She said will do.
Awesome. All right. So, Miss Aphrodite, are you ready?
Okay, yeah, let me go pull it up. So I might look weird for a second because I won't be able to see you all because I got to pull it up on my screen.
That's cool.
Okay.
Excuse me.
That's cool.
It's called Fine Girl Blues, okay? Let's see.
I really am. I'm really excited. Like I got a lot of really positive feedback from my beta readers. And so I'm really excited to hear what other people, readers who don't know who I am,
Right.
have to say about it.
How long is the book, Dana? How long is the book?
It is, if you get the paperback version of it, it is like 700 and It's long.
Oh, that's my kind of book.
I was gonna say, you make mine look short.
It's 784 pages long.
Okay. Is the paperback going to be available up there for pre-order? Is that available for pre-order?
It is. They're actually live right now, so you can get the paperback or the ebook. The ebook. Now, one thing that I have to say is the formatting is a little bit different than what people are accustomed to. This is what the interior pages look like.
Okay.
And it's just a Amazon thing. Like, we tried.
It's because it's so thick.
Yeah.
That Amazon shrinks the borders on it and makes you make them bigger and bigger and bigger.
Oh, okay.
Because like mine's through Amazon too, and
I had to rework mine to get
it looks like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me see if I can show.
But mine's 83 pages.
Yeah. So. See, that's what. But your guys is what.
It took me a while to get it to format correctly.
Okay.
And I mean, I get down to some nitty gritty specifics to get it the way I wanted it exactly. And then and this is a shorter book with Shattered. Shattered is like over 300 pages.
Yeah.
And just getting it perfect, it took a little finagling with
Well, see, Dana, mine's 457, and it's like that.
Right.
So
and I tried to make the book itself bigger. Like, I thought if I brought it out to like a 8.5 by 9 instead of the 6 by 9, that it might change it. But then Amazon it wouldn't let me change the actual size of the book without, like, I'd have to unpublish it, then change all of that, and then send
it to me in a Word doc.
Okay.
I'll send it back to you in the dimensions you want and a PDF, and then you can just re-upload it without pulling your book off.
Okay, we could try that.
Yeah, I can hook you up with that.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to get a paperback version of your book, Dana. So
awesome.
Yeah, same here.
And I always leave reviews, so I will review it if I'm done.
Perfect. And
I started crying almost when I saw you left a review on Amazon for mine. And I'm like,
that was good. Oh my God. I was warning everybody, you're gonna need a fan. I'm trying to tell people.
I think that's what I seriously am thinking about making that merch. Like
a hand fan. You should do it. They need it. I needed one, so I went and got mine from downstairs.
Oh my God.
Yeah. This book originally, when I first wrote it, the first time I wrote it, it was shorter. It was 400 pages. And then after I rewrote it, and I just wasn't happy with it the first time that I wrote it.
Yeah.
So then I rewrote it, and then it came out to be this enormous.
You were like, what? Am I writing a science fiction story?
Yeah. Well, and then when Amazon said it was like 800 and something pages long,
I was like, what happened?
All right. So are you ready, Miss Aphrodite?
Yeah, let me pull it back up. Okay. All right. And I hope you guys can hear me because my voice is just gone. All right. So I can only read a little, part of this chapter 1 for you. Okay. Knock, knock, knock. Egypt, can you get the door for me, please? I ask as I run into the kitchen to turn off whatever is boiling over. No problem. I remove the pan from the heat and turn off the burner. I lift the lid to discover that there is no saving it. I want to scream out loud because this is the second time today that I've been so distracted that I've ruined a dish. Izzy strolls into the kitchen and gives me a quick hug as she peers into the monstrosity that should be bow-tie, pasta, and grins. So we're ordering pizza? Looks like. Well, come on. Lakin and Penelope are trying to mix the damn drinks. I ain't trying to end this soiree with alcohol poisoning. She hands me a wine cooler and drags me back into the living room. I can't help but smile when I see my friends wearing the pink and silver sleepwear that I requested. Winter in her solid pink footy pajamas, and Diamond with her satin tap pants and cami set. Lakin in a pale pink satin negligee because, of course, she has to be extra, and Penelope in a pink version of Wonder Woman underoos. Egypt opts for a traditional cotton PJ set, and Mona is equally cozy in her cotton combo as well. Izzy's pajamas are a pink pair of sweats and a bra. Oh, hell no, Penelope says as she sits in front of the sofa. We all agreed to this girly bullshit, but your ass ain't even wearing pajamas, let alone the pink crap. I'm about to get changed now. I'm running behind. Give me a damn break. You do too much, Winter chimes in. Just saying. Sorry. No, I don't. Yeah, whatever, Diamond interrupts. What are we eating? She asks, looking up from her phone. I thought you were making a dish, Lakin says, as if she might cry. I need my homemade diamond fix. I roll my eyes as I watch them all go back and forth about food that doesn't exist for the millionth time. Always the same argument. So who's this month's celebrity smut fest gonna feature? Izzy asks. Bet it's Jason Momoa, Egypt says, grinning. Oh, please let it be Jason, Lakin screams. Now that's a tale I can get into. It's not Jason, I say. I am saving him for my birthday. Well, yes, Lord, would love to unwrap that package. Oh, God. They all burst into laughter as they suggest more names for me to write about in my blog, The Sensual Encounters of Pandora Lake, all of which I will be choosing as the months go on. It makes me so happy knowing how much people are really liking my adventures, even if they know they aren't real. This month is special, I say. I'm not doing the one story a week gig. I have 7 tales to coincide with my Lunar Madness tales from October. They were such a big hit, I figured I'd try another run in February. Well, give up the names already. I hesitate at first. Usually I just give them the manuscripts ahead of time so that when we do our podcast for the roundtable, they already know what's going on. But I hadn't written these yet. They're all still locked in my head, waiting to be released to the universe. Okay, well, there's Jacob Manning, of course. We know every month features him, Mona says. Isn't it about time for you to get over this guy? Has he even done any new films? Yeah, he's in that new DC comic film or something, I heard, Egypt says. I ignore them and keep going. Let's see, there's Trent Forsyth, Holden Wall, Paul O, Royal Jones, Royal, Winter asks. New obsession, Penelope explains as she pours another drink. He's some blonde Mormon kid or something. I know who he is, but isn't he like 12? Anyway, I say, rolling my eyes again. There's Jason Song from the band Theory and Casper Fields, to name a few. Damn, girl, you pretty much doubled your workload. Ain't the only load she doubled. Once again, they all laughed and proceeded to instruct me on how I better not make these stories fluffy and cute, that they needed to be some hardcore screwing around with this list of gentlemen. I leave them to it and go into my studio, closing the door behind me. You're supposed to be changing your damn clothes, not checking Twitter, Mona yells. I'm about to yell back at her that I'm changing my clothes, but because this is where my pajamas are, she'll figure it out when I return wearing them. I strip down to my panties when my computer starts dinging and pinging. My notifications are jumping like crazy, but why? I haven't posted all day. In fact, I haven't been online at all today because I set one day aside to just defrag and connect with my friends, hence the girls' night pajama party. Just gonna ignore it. It can wait, I'm sure. I slip out of my panties and toss them to the floor with the other clothes that I took off, as well as some other items I hadn't bothered to put in their proper home. Then I reach for my pajama set. I'm so excited I can't wait to show them off to the girls. I've always wanted a crop top shirt, but never dared to wear one. Decided to ease my way in with these PJs and then ultimately find a cute one to wear outside. Once again, the notifications go berserk. Sorry. Curiosity gets the best of me, so I quietly sit down at my computer just to do a quick check. It's 8:17 at night. Why the hell is all this action happening this late? Something is going on and I need to know what it is. As soon as I begin to type, I start to feel this strange sensation course through my fingers from the keyboard. The feeling goes from mild tingles to slightly uncomfortable. I pull my hands away, but the sensation increases, traveling up my arms and through my body. Every inch, it becomes more intensified. What the fuck? I back away. The notifications now buzz like someone has just flatlined. I try to stand, but my legs give way from under me. I hear my friends carry on, oblivious in the other room, as I begin to feel myself slip away. I try to scream, but nothing comes out. I panic. Why can't I call out to them? What's happening to me? Am I dying? Someone please help me. My entire body feels stiff and sore as I try to lift my head from the cold stone floor. My wrists and ankles are bound with heavy shackles. An uncontrollable shiver runs up my spine. I'm afraid to open my eyes, but not knowing is worse. Emptiness, complete darkness. No sound except the clanking from the chains and my breathing, which is now labored and shallow. Help, I cry out. Anybody, please. A dim light above my head beams directly down on me. It slowly gets brighter, causing eerie shadows of my frame on the walls, then nothing. I look the space over and see that the room is shaped like a heptagon. Each wall has a tiny gray door with sort of a sigil on each of them, something I have never seen before. I have no idea what any of them mean or stand for. Hello, is someone there? Tremors vibrate through the floors and then stop just as quickly as they begin. Incoherent chatter fills the room, then it too quiets down once again. Pandora Lee, a disembodied voice calls out, you have been found guilty. With great difficulty, I come to my feet. Guilty of what? Choose. I don't understand. What's going on? Choose. There's nothing in the room but me and 7 doors. The voice must mean choose a door, but why? And what's on the other side? What could I possibly be guilty of? No. If you're going to kill me, then do it here. I will not comply or assist you. The room begins to quake so terribly that I lose my balance and fall back to the floor again. Oh, sorry. The chatter becomes so loud, I think my head will explode. This is it. I'm going to die alone and no one will even know what happened to me. I begin to sob. The clicks and ticks and whistles begin to soften to a hum before they finally go silent. If you wish to return to your home, you will choose or face the consequences of your defiance, a calmer voice explains. What's going to happen to me? What do the marks on the doors mean? I pull myself up and stand, hoping to find a clue, an answer. I want to go home, but I won't go in blind. I refuse. As soon as I hear the words come out of my mouth, I instantly regret them. I cover my face with my hands and await their wrath, but nothing. No tremors, no quakes, nothing at all. On the other side, you will need to figure out who you are, why you are there, and fulfill your purpose. Only then will you return. Will I be defenseless? Your skills will present themselves the longer you are immersed. Who are you? Why are you doing this to me? Choose. I can sense that their patience is running out, and I am too scared to just stay put at this point. Better to accept my fate and take my chances with what's on the other side of the door. But which door? Is there a correct one? I don't dare ask another question. Shackled and naked, I inch my way to the door directly in front of me. Every step I take, I keep praying that I will just wake up and realize that I must have passed out and this is just a dream. My hands are shaking, but I grab and turn the knob. I slowly open the door, but there's nothing but a void. A low hum begins to build up in the chamber. They're talking to each other again. God, please don't let me die here, I say as I close my eyes and cross the sill of the door. And that's it.
Oh my god.
So good.
She in trouble now. She should have just.
Yay! I couldn't unmute it.
I know, mine's having a hard time too. Yeah, she's in trouble. So.
Some of it is like, what trouble? Just
Yeah, she does have one of those chapters where she's feeling like, I'm just going to enjoy this.
She is enhancing her skills.
I like how they tell her too, like your skills will present themselves.
Yeah, that's like a pause.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, so we're gonna do drawing for another candle and a bookmark.
Awesome.
And then Jasmine will have to do hers.
Nope, Amber's doing it because.
Okay, so you all know, I specifically requested a scene, and that's what she wants me to read.
Yeah.
And I will gladly read it because it's a reason. Yeah.
Yeah, she specifically requested it, and I finally wrote it last night. So I'm gonna make her read it because she made me write it.
You're being punished.
Let me tell you how sadistic I am. I asked her to write a great death for my ex.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Okay, let me rephrase that. My daughter asked her, and I gave her some suggestions.
So the winner is Castiel.
Hey!
I know. She's at the store.
So, right, so she doesn't know, but
yeah, we'll have to message her and let her know that she won something nice.
Yeah.
So, all right, let's hear Miss Jasmine, and then I'll finish up my prologue, and then we'll do the grand prize drawing, and then move on because I think I need a nap.
All right, I'll read y'all this. All right. He pops the hood and starts looking around as I run to the backyard and grab the rag, duct tape, and rope. I come up behind him and shove the rag in his mouth before placing tape over it. He kicks back, but I move to the right. I grab his arms and tie his arms behind his back, then wrap the rope around his body. I wrap my right leg around his knee, bringing him down before wrapping the rope around him once more and tying it. I drag his body to the backyard, being sure to hit his head on as many rocks as possible. Once I get him to the backyard, I bang his head on the concrete bricks surrounding the fireplace until he goes unconscious. I love this part. I ran inside and grabbed hot sauce, and then back to the shed and grab a knife. I sit next to his unconscious body, twirling the knife until he wakes up. Once he's up, I cut his right arm 50 times as he screams, before moving over to his left arm and doing the same. I grab the hot sauce and pour it over his arms as he screams louder, before prying his eyes open and dripping hot sauce into them. As the screams get louder, I stomp on his face. I sit next to him and listen to his piercing screams for about 20 minutes before getting up and grabbing the crowbar. I hold the crowbar in my left hand and grab the rope attached to his body in my right. I start walking into the woods behind our house and towards the pile of bodies. I stop right next to the pile and drop the rope. I pull the crowbar in my right hand and kick him over onto his stomach. Then I hit him in the base of the skull for about 2 or 3 minutes. I hit him once in the back before walking back towards the house. As I gather all my supplies, I chuckle because being muscular didn't help him at all in this situation. I love that.
Yay!
Whoa!
Thumbs up from the daughter.
Hardcore, man.
I can definitely see where those crime scenes. I was confused about the hot sauce. I was like, oh no, she's gonna go into like cannibal mode.
I'm just
We live in Texas, so we like hot stuff.
Cool.
Well, I'm glad you didn't go into cannibal mode.
Dana was not ready for
Yes,
that.
No, there are very few things that make me squirm, and the consumption of human flesh is.
So no Hannibal Lecter for you.
Travis made a movie many years ago about like a cannibal family.
Mm-hmm.
And he got a comment that you can only read like, it just says, got any more of these cannibal movies?
Oh my God.
No, and I'll never have any more of these cannibal movies. Please move along.
I actually loved Hannibal Lecter.
Oh, yeah.
I loved Silence of the Lambs.
Well, I love Anthony Hopkins, so I would love
it. Yeah, but it does. It just, I don't know. There is something deep inside of you that when you're like, you realize that he's like, frying up some brains. You're like, yeah. You're all, no.
There was this one movie called, I think it's called Alive or something, where they crash in a plane on the side of a mountain or something. And of course they end up having
true story.
Eat the people's butts. I don't know why they went for the butt meat. Maybe it was easier to cut off.
Because it's easier to cook because it's all meat.
They did chew it raw though, I think.
Yeah, but it's easier to get it off and everything.
I was going to say butt meat. Well, if I was there and I was there, they could definitely cut some of my thigh meat off. I mean, I got pretty big thighs, so
yeah. Well, in that type of a situation, I think that, you could probably get past it if you like close your eyes and envision that it's like filet mignon or something.
Well, and in all those situations, they don't kill the people for that purpose.
At least that's true. Yeah, they just have to be,
it's a desperation. Plus, this is the only edible.
Yeah, they're not those weirdos from like Wrong Turn. They're like, I'm gonna beat you up and eat a piece of you right now. The Wrong Turn people, like, no.
The Alive story was really actually really sad because
it was.
It was something like if they had went over like 2 miles or something, they would have been okay and they wouldn't have had to do what they did.
True.
But they didn't know what was going to happen. They thought they were going to die.
Yeah.
Right. And they knew enough to know that like they're more likely to find us if we're closer to the wreckage.
Yeah, then
they didn't want to travel because then they're just lost in the middle of nowhere.
Exactly.
I seen that movie with Aldous Alba and what's her name? Karen. Is it Karen Knightley? It's not Karen Knightley, is it? That's a chick from Titanic. What's her name?
Oh,
it's
Winslet.
Yeah,
Winslet.
Like the mountain.
Winslet. Yeah, that was a love story type thing. So that was actually pretty good. They were stuck out like that type of thing, and he was like, we're staying here, and she was like, I'm leaving. No. But it turned out pretty good though. I like that one. I like Aldous Alba. He's a good actor.
Yeah, that's the only reason I like.
I was like, please get him for Bond. They were like, up in the air. I'm like, fuck Daniel Craig. I want Aldous now.
He was doing. He was.
I want to see. I want to see him as Bond so bad.
Oh yeah, he has it. He has it.
He was doing something for Valentine's Day, and I signed my mom up. I signed her up in every way I possibly could because I was like, if she goes and has like Valentine's dinner with him, I can at least meet him. Right. I'm married. I can sign myself up for him. That just okay.
Yeah, he really pushes CJ's buttons.
Yeah.
Yeah. She doesn't usually talk about guys like that, but she's like, oh.
If I was married, he'd be on my list of you gotta let me slide, bruh. I'm just saying you gotta let me have that. I'll let you have Angelina if that's what you want, but you gotta let me have Idris.
No, my husband wouldn't touch Angelina. He loves a woman. He's like, no. What is that?
I don't know what is going on in her brain.
Who is the woman on what is it like Modern Family?
I don't know the cast on there.
Me either.
American
Sophia.
Yeah.
Oh, Vergara.
Vergara.
Yeah.
Her husband.
She's my man. She's
Her
my
husband, who is absolutely fucking gorgeous, is one of the biggest D&D nerds on the planet.
Yes, he is. He really is.
Yep.
Now she is someone that my husband would probably go for. I would let him have her. I'd be like, you go for it.
You can get that. Go for it. Like,
Yeah.
I used to like her until she took my man. My man, she knew he was mine, and
I was like, Orlando Bloom got married to Katy Perry, and I'm like, Orlando, how could you? You cheater. Let me stop.
Orlando is going to come to his senses.
I know he will. I told you he will. You know?
I'm just really upset about that.
Katy Perry's just a wild, crazy fling because she's crazy. Sometimes he like crazy stuff.
Oh yeah, I told my husband
he likes crazy girls. That's the problem with him.
I told my husband yesterday that he was engaged to Katy Perry, and my husband's like, he's into girls. I was like, yeah.
What is Pirates of the Caribbean, the Calliope one? He dated her like forever.
Yeah, he did. Sure.
The woman that plays Calliope or the Keira Knightley?
Plays
crazy one. I forget her name.
What the Calypso? Was it Calypso?
Oh, the one who played Calypso. So I know he dated her.
He dated the actress that played Calypso.
Yeah, he dated the actress.
Yeah.
And, he was. I know that. I let that go because I like her. And then he was dating Felicia Rashad's daughter.
Well, I forgive Jason Momoa's wife every day. So
is it Felicity? Is it Felicity Rashad? Is that her name?
Think that's
Felicia Rashad.
No, but I think the daughter's name is Felicity.
No, I think it is. Yes, you're right. I let that go. He married that one chick who I really didn't like, but I let it go because my boyfriends can have their fun.
You're trying to be flexible.
I'm not happy with this Katy Perry.
Yeah, I know me either. I wasn't happy with that.
No.
All those balloons in the ceiling and shit.
This live stream does not approve of your choices, Orlando Bloom.
He's been with her for a while, though. This isn't a new romance. But
no, it's not. I heard that.
It's over her. She must taste really good.
That's fine. I'll just take Gite. I'm fine. Whatever. Bye.
Okay. For the ebook, this is it. This is someone, whoever gets peeled next doesn't get a choice. They're gonna get one. I've pulled Cass again. I've pulled Jasmine. All right, here we go. For an ebook. Sabra.
Yay! She didn't win yet, right? That's good.
I don't know how old Sabra is. She might be 17.
Oh. Is she still with us?
I don't know. We're friends on Facebook.
Okay.
But yeah, she might. She's younger, but she might be 18 now. I don't know for sure.
Okay.
I could give her a copy of my Shattered.
Okay.
Shattered is okay for 18.
Yeah.
17, 18.
Okay. Well, I'll hit her up later on Facebook and just ask her like whether an erotica book would be appropriate for her or not, and I'll let you guys know.
It's not like all erotic. It's just graphic.
Right.
Right. And like
you have descriptive scenes in it.
Like it's 90% story, 10% extremely graphic.
Here's the thing: is that
doesn't make it erotica.
No.
Do I independently believe that somebody who is 14, 15, 16, 17 can handle that under the right circumstances? Absolutely. But you don't get to make that decision for their parents.
Right.
And that's the biggest problem. It's not that, like, I would bet you dollars to donuts Sabra is mature enough and Jazz is mature enough. Like, I don't think they're not. It's just that's not your choice.
Well, it's just like you got to be careful. When I worked for GameStop and I had to sell M-rated games, and kids will come in and be like, "Oh, mom said I could get it." I'm like, "Look, kid, that's cool and everything, but your parents are like right here to tell me that.
Right.
And I'm not selling you an M-rated game because then they're going to come complain to me and I'm going to get in trouble. So it's not really my fault. It's just policy.
Right. Yeah. And that's the thing is like, I of all of the minors I know in the AuthorTube community, they all seem to be very mature and able to handle that stuff. But
I agree.
It's just a fine line to walk when you're an adult.
That's true.
So
very true. Very true. All right. So the name I
mama coming after me. I really wouldn't want to do something like that.
Yeah.
Like I made it very, very clear that this was a 18 and over. And even if it was one of those situations where the child was extremely mature, I would not feel comfortable. I just wouldn't feel comfortable with it because it is so very graphic. Right. And even though it's less than 10% graphic adult content, it's still there. So, like I've told my kids, they're not allowed to read my book until they're dead. I'm dead, not them. Me.
It's the same thing with
when you're a ghost, you can read this.
That's right. No. It's just like I do have adult age children. I just would rather them wait until they're a little bit more adult. So okay, so the name I drew was Jody. She actually lives here locally, and she did try to get in, but it says that she can't comment because she doesn't have an account. So
okay. So she messaged you and told you that she's not allowed to comment?
Yeah. So we're good. I will make sure that she gets a copy of that ebook. So yeah. Awesome. So I guess we are coming to the end. So I will, everybody got to do their reading. So I will finish this prologue, and then at the end of it, I will do the drawing for the autographed paperback, a candle, bookmark, and the magnet. And yeah. So if you win and you are of 18, you can gift it if you don't want to read it or whatever the case may be. But I'm not going through this whole pot of names again, okay? It's just not happening. All right, so let me find my bookmark. All right. I was about to mute it too. I'm like, let me mute this so that everything is good. All right, here we go. So the second half. Tap, tap, tap. I hear the sounds like clapping in the distance. I just dozed off. I'm so tired and relaxed. I don't know if I care, but in the back of my mind, and then like I skipped 2 lines. That's kind of weird. Sorry, guys. I don't know if I care, but in the back of my mind, it does seem very strange. I roll over onto my left side. Maybe if I ignore it, it will go away. I close my eyes, hoping Julia will hear it and send someone to see what it is. Clap, clap, clap. Again, I wake from the world between sleep and reality, where you can no longer tell if it's in your mind. I open my eyes and look into the pitch black darkness of the room. I can see something standing in the darkness of the night, lurking in the shadows, its dark eyes staring at me. Boom, boom, boom. Shaken by the sound of what I thought was thunder in the distance, the shadow moves along the wall. Like an evil thing, like all evil things, it scurries along the darkest shadows of the room, taking no real shape. Small at first, then massive, morphing into whatever size shadow it can find. Whack, clap, pause, boom. I jump straight out of bed, realizing that it's the sound of someone hitting and pounding on the old wooden door in the back of the house. I yell at my husband, Levi, get up. Get up, Levi. Can't you hear someone is pounding on the door? I light an oil lamp, and the warm, glowing light fills the entire chamber, forcing the evil shadow figure to run. I grab my robe, off the rocking chair in the corner of the room and wrap myself in it as I watch Levi walk out the door. I take a second lamp and turn it and light it, turning and walking over to the secret door in the wall leading to Mina's room. Slowly and quietly, as not to wake her, I walk to the center of the chamber. I placed her crib, made of rowan wood, here before she was born because the temperature is perfect. There is no draft to wake her, my precious little girl, to wake her or make my precious little girl uncomfortable or sick. In its place is a bed that was recently delivered for her birthday. The bed is hand-carved with intricately detailed carvings of forest animals and fairy creatures. I stop a moment and look at the bed, a gift from Levi's business partner, such an elaborate gift for a man we hardly know, who is of new money. I get a strange feeling, like someone is watching me, and I quickly walk to the edge of the bed. My heart stops for a moment. The blankets have been thrown off, and the bed is empty. Panic fills my heart, and I thrash around the blankets. She must be here, I think to myself. She is just hiding. I call out her name. Mina, Mina, where are you? I can't breathe. My heart has stopped beating, and I feel dizzy. A bright light from inside fills the window. I stumble over my feet, trying to get over to the window to take a look. There are people, at least 12 of them, standing on the other side of the pond, just on the edge of the forest. They are wearing black cloaks with white, expressionless masks on their faces. Mama, I hear her small voice whispering. Mina, where are you, my love? I look around the room and I hear her voice call me again. Mama. I walk over to the bed, realizing that her voice is coming from it. I look again, pulling all the pillows and blankets away. Nothing. She is not there. I stand very still and slowly lower myself to the floor. Mina, my love, call me again. Mama. I realize she is inside the bed frame. I begin searching around the base of the bed where the wood meets the floor. There has to be a door here. How did she get in there? Mama, hurry. It's so cold and dark. I'm scared of being here alone. Panic sets in again. I begin letting my hands glide over the wood, looking for a break in the panel that would open a door. Crawling on my knees, letting my hands be my eyes, my hot tears burning my eyes as I fight them away. To let one fall would to admit defeat. I turn away from the bed, facing the east. The sun is on the horizon and Venus is bright. I lower my body low to the ground and cry out in desperation. Azil, Uzziah, give me sight to find my daughter. My body is filled with a warm, comforting sensation, and white light fills my eyes. I look at the bed and realize that it has a curse of dark, powerful magic. I circle the bed 3 times opposite the Earth's rotation and then look again. There it is, a hidden door guarded by the blackest magic, one so powerful it even fooled me. I swing the panel open and look into a dark abyss of nothingness. Mina, Mina. I scream into the nothingness. Mina, where are you? I am here, Mama. Her voice sounds like it is at the end of a long hallway. I quickly crawl into the bottom of the bed. I feel something sharp tear into the side of my thigh and immediately look back. The floor falls out from beneath me. I am falling into nothingness. I feel things grabbing at me. They feel like branches and vines, but I do not know where I am. I feel the earth smash into my body. Everything goes black. I look up one last time and I see Mina stumbling over to me. What looks like blood covers her little body. I see her tears have washed some of it away. Then I close my eyes. When I open them again, I hear the sweet songs of our ancient people coming from the mouth of my little Mina. Mina, my heartbeat, my little butter bean. She looks down at me. Her fingers tangled in my hair, and her smile fills me with hope. What is all over you, Mina? I don't know, Mama, but when you fall down the hole, you come out covered in this sticky red mess. I look down at myself and see that the same red sticky goop also covers me. Shh, Mama. I look up at Mina. She has her finger on her lips and her eyes filled with fear. I listen to hear the voices of men outside. They are talking to each other about finding us. I sit up slowly. I can feel that I have broken some of my ribs. It is hard to breathe as I sit up. The pain is intense. I scream wildly to myself. I know if I can't control my physical body, I will give our hiding spot away. I try to take a look out the window. I know where we are. It's an old abandoned temple in the heart of the woods. This was once beautiful sacred place, its wooden walls built and carved by the hands of our ancestors, ancient gods decorated with powerful gems and stones that dance around the temple walls when lit by oil lamps, and cloaked in the smoke of incense and sacrifices. Now it is decorated with ivy and moss from its neglect from the people who once worshipped here. This temple that once gained its power from its stones and the people who worshipped the ancient gods, these walls that hid Levi and I on a night where we begged and sacrificed for our beloved Mina as we created her on the altar, it now lies shrouded in dark and filth. Evil has used what is left of its magic to transport us here in a trap. The little hope I have left is quickly taken from me. What I thought was the sun cresting the horizon is not the sun at all. It is the blood moon rising in anticipation of its sacrifice. How foolish of me. I had gotten so caught up in the lives we were trying to live, acting like humans, that I let my mind and ancient knowledge be neglected. This evil is powerful, dark magic like I have never seen before. I hear the men give up and listen for their footsteps as they slowly walk away. I lay back down so Mina doesn't see me struggling to breathe. I feel her lay down next to me. Her small body snuggles close to mine for warmth as the night air grows colder. I close my eyes and pray that our people hear my silent prayer, that someone will come for us wherever we are. Levi comes to my mind, and I am not worried. He is descended from a long line of warriors. I know his people will come to his aid, and Aziel will help him to find us when it's safe. I wake again, this time to the sound of my name whispered to me. Emmeline. What? I look around. My vision is blurry. It is still dark, and I can only make out movement in the pitch black darkness. The sound of my name gets closer as it is called out again. Emmeline. Emmeline, where are you? I recognize the voice this time and whisper back. Julia, we are here. I pause for a moment, waiting to hear her voice again. I hear nothing but silence in the darkness of night. I lay my head back down. I must have been imagining her voice. I close my eyes and begin praying again. I try to send a mental message to Levi. We used to be so connected that it was easy to do, but so much time has passed since we have used the old ways. I look down at my delicate little Mina. Tears once again fill my eyes. I am so angry with myself for not teaching her how to use her gifts. She could have protected herself, fought back. Instead, she, like all the regular humans, are weak and helpless. Aziel must be using this as a way to teach us that we should have never abandoned the old ways. The sound of footsteps breaks my concentration. I pull Mina closer to me, my broken ribs digging into my organs. Emmeline, the sound of Julia's voice so close to me is comforting. We are here, Julia. I hear her footsteps coming towards us. crushing the dried, dead leaves. I feel her hands searching for us as she finds our outstretched foot. Oh, thank Azil for bringing you to us. She tries to hug me, and I stop her. Julia, my ribs are broken, and I think I may have broken my ankle in the fall. Fall? I can hear the sound of confusion in her voice. The bed that Levi's new partner gave Mina, was a trap. It was cursed with dark magic, and under it, a secret portal. Somehow Mina found it and dropped here. She pauses for a moment. How did you get it? I chuckle to myself. The sharp stabbing pain in my torso silences me. I used ancient magic. I called out to Azil. I heard a small voice I hadn't heard in a long time. He showed me, as she sits next to me silently. Julia, I can't get up from this place. I pause for a moment as I try to swallow the chicken bone lodged in my throat. Julia, take Mina and hide in the woods. Follow the river to the house of the Michalio family. Leave Mina there with them. They will hide her and protect her at all costs. Julia sits quietly next to me for a moment. I will take her there, Emmeline, and then I will go find Levi. We will come back for you. The thickness of my throat chokes me again, harder this time. Julia, I think they already have him. I can't feel his heartbeat anymore. Speechless, we sit for what feels like eternity. We are wasting time sitting here. I try to clear my throat quietly. Take Mina now. Find the river and follow it. The Michalios will help you. They will protect Mina, and they will come for me. I will take her there, Emmeline. I will bring them back here for you. I pull Mina closer to me despite the pain and place my lips on her cheek. I whisper a little magic to protect her heart and mind from the evil that is out there. Your blood is my blood. Your heart is my heart. There is nowhere in the universe that you can go that I will not be with you. I look up at Julia and try to smile. Where are we? The old temple in the woods. How did you know to find me here? I can hear her take a deep breath, hesitating, thinking of what to say. They came into the house and ransacked everything, then set it on fire. I came here because this is where my mother would bring me as a child to teach me about the old gods and new. She pauses again. I thought you would be here with Mina because it's a safe place. I close my eyes again to fight back the tears. It is not always easy being able to detect deception in people's hearts, but I have no choice. I have to trust that she loves my daughter as much as I do, because I cannot fight what is outside. Maybe my gifts are not working correctly from hitting my head with such force on the hard stone floor. Either way, I have to let my heart's song go. She is in the hands of Azil Uzia. I pray that my old magic is strong enough to protect her from this evil. I look up at Julia. Take her and run. With those words, I feel the weight of my little girl lift off of me. The pain is unbearable, crippling, like having my soul ripped from my body. I am powerless to do anything. Go. I can no longer see them in the darkness of night, but I hear Julia's footsteps growing more silent with every step. I close my eyes again, trying to disconnect from the consciousness that the pain will leave my body. I am brought back to reality when I hear the shuffling of many feet. I open my eyes to white, emotionless faces hovering over me. Cowards, all of you, hiding behind your masks and cloaks. I feel my body being hoisted up and thrown over the shoulders of an enormous masked man. The pain is too much to bear. I scream out to the universe. You cowards will be caught and brought to justice. Evil will never triumph. Ta-da! And that's the end of my prologue, my very long prologue.
Very
Thank
good.
you. Thank you very much.
Never triumph.
That's right. That's right. So, and that's where, so that's where all the mystery begins. So, all right. So let's do this last drawing. Have we gotten any new people in?
No.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So this is for the autographed paperback, a candle, and bookmarks. All right. Should I call my daughter? Oh man, and that was,
trust you.
Yeah, I'm like, that was the hard part. Like there have been a couple of scenes in here where I've had to take like personal experience. Like, what would it be like if it was my kid? All right. And the winner is
it Morgan?
No, it's Sabra. Okay, here we go.
Oh.
All right, here we go. Last time. And the winner is Belinda Halverson.
Oh, hey.
I know. Awesome. So yeah, so I guess that's the end of that. I know. Like
that was fun.
I had a lot of fun, and thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you, Sarah, for saving me because I was going to go insane. So
it will happen to everyone eventually. Everybody will need a hand with something like that because electronics are finicky.
Not reliable.
Oh yeah. So, and then each one of you guys are going to get a free ebook as well as a thank you gift. So make sure that I have your email addresses so that I can send it to you.
Okay, cool, dude.
Except for Jasmine, who gets a candle.
Except for Jasmine, who gets a candle. I'm sorry. You know what? I need to write a book just for you. And my daughter told me the same thing. She's like, Mom, you need to write a book so that people who aren't 18 can read it. And I'm like, I can try. I can try.
I used to do that for my goddaughter for the stuff that I wrote that it wasn't necessarily sex stuff, but if it was just too explicit or too, then I would do a gentler version that still said the same thing for them, for her. I mean, so but not just so
I write middle grade and children's books too. I think I just probably spread myself too thin, but I do have a children's series too that I do. So I probably have something for everyone, I think, because I'm too busy.
Yeah, but that makes you more diverse. You have a wider range, a wider reach, you know.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to come up with more like author names though, because I'm gonna confuse people.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I would like somebody who reads my Aphrodite Lee stuff to confuse the mink stuff. I don't care if they read it, but just to know that the reason why I use that name,
because so they can know the separation. I might just write like my children's stories. I might just do like Danny Tillery, so that way it's more like, you know, child oriented maybe.
Right.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about that if I ever did YA, I would just use my true initials because Hope is actually my first name. I just moved Hope behind Aphrodite.
Yeah.
Because I like that order. I want Hope to be next to Lee, so I will be H.A. Lee. Hope Aphrodite Lee for my YA stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to have like 5, I think.
Oh yeah. Well, I originally was writing under a pen name.
Yeah.
And then I got to the point where I just didn't care anymore.
Yeah, you're right. Screw it.
Yeah. I was and then like people were like my pen name sounded like a stripper name, and so and I think maybe that's why I was getting crazy comments, but I don't know. It doesn't matter anymore. So
like, strippers read books too.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I want people to know that I am Minx.
Yeah.
I want the distinction to be if Minx book that you know it's erotica, it's not romance.
Right.
Stuff that I write.
Yeah.
When I showed my husband your book and he saw Minx Canoche, and he thought, or Canocha, and he thought it was Panocha. And he was like, "Oh, she is spicy," because that's like Minx is very soft, and Panocha is,
What is Panocha?
Name makes too. I didn't give myself that name. DL. I didn't give me that name.
What is Panocha?
Canocha. I forget.
No, the word that she said got confused.
Book where I looked up, I even forgot what it means at this point.
Yeah,
supposedly because Minx, like she said, means soft. But
I got that. My question was, what was the word he thought it was?
Panocha.
What does that mean?
It's Spanish for like candy, but it's also a
candy.
Yeah, but it's also used for vagina.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
I was gonna say it if nobody said it.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
I just want to know. I didn't
no
give
clue.
myself that name.
I know a bunch of French.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I know enough Spanish to order hot eggs with cheese and 10 beers.
I know enough Spanish to say no.
Yeah.
I mean, I know a lot of Spanish. I've done it for 4 years.
Yeah, I know a little more than that, but still.
I can also ask you where the bathroom is. Yes.
I can tell you the bathroom is eating you.
Then I would have to stay out of that bathroom.
We used to screw with our chemistry teacher because he acted like he knew Spanish, and one of me and my friends actually did. So we would just say random stuff to see if he'd repeat it.
Right.
I love people like that.
That's like my daughter when she started going to public school, she took an interest in what the Hispanic kids were saying to each other. And so I told her, I said, under no circumstances are you to repeat anything you hear unless you absolutely know what is being said.
Yeah.
And now she can cuss in Spanish, Korean, and some Japanese.
That's my girl.
Yeah. The girl took
it
seriously and is like, I'm just going to learn how to speak all the languages of the world. So yeah,
my son can speak Japanese, and every time he gets mad, I mean, he is Native American speaking kid. He speaks English somewhat fluently, but you would think that he was born and raised in Japan. When he gets mad, he just starts going off in Japanese. He has me listed in the phone as something really bad in Japanese, and I'm going to figure it out.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Sometimes when she's like upset with me, she'll say something and I'm like, that better not mean what I think it means, or you're in big trouble.
I will look it up.
I have Google Translate.
I start doing that in Spanish or even my own language I created, like, because Kira knows it, but it's funny because I'll do it to my mom. She's like, I don't know what you're saying, but it better not be bad. Kira's over here just laughing.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, we should probably wrap things up. I know that we need to eat and snooze and write and all that other good stuff. So,
Amber and Tamara have a stream. You guys are going at 6 p.m. Central?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. So 6 p.m. Central over on Amber's channel. So go and check that out.
An hour?
Yeah.
A little over an hour, yeah.
Okay. I know. I'm like, I'm sitting at 4.
And keep in mind, guys, that they are going to run and eat and stuff. So if they're running a few minutes behind, be patient, please.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Does anyone have anything that they really want to mention before we go? Because otherwise,
I want to say my book comes out in exactly 100 days.
Awesome!
Congratulations. That's exciting.
Yeah. 100 days. Now you just need to go get one of those countdown things.
Oh, I have one on the laptop. It's date.com, and then you can do like a countdown. I've had it for like almost 200 days.
Yeah,
I introduced Amber to it, so now she's hooked too. But it's amazing.
What is it called? What is it?
Timeanddate.com.
It's amazing.
You can do little backgrounds for the event and everything. It's really cute.
I would not wait. Don't wait to start promoting yourself. The earlier you start promoting your book, even if you just put a countdown on your Facebook page or your website or whatever, the earlier you start promoting your book, the more people are going to want to read it. Because I think
I
I heard,
every chance I get.
yeah, I was gonna say, I think I heard somewhere that something has to be in front of a human's eyes at least 18 times before they'll actually take action and do something on it.
Unless it's a McDonald's ad or a Wawa ad and they have $1 coffee.
Yep, exactly. So, all right. Well, thank you so much, ladies. It was wonderful. And
I will message you my address for my candles. I'll remember to do that. I'll try to remember.
Oh, yeah, I have to do that too.
Awesome. Yeah, make sure that everybody, I need addresses and all that good stuff.
I'm going to go pre-order a paperback of your book because I want the physical one too.
Awesome. Thank you. I know. And Tamara, I still love your scarf. I really do.
Yeah. She's a queen of head wraps.
I know. I follow this woman. Her name's Dina. Her book's around here. Dina Tokyo or Torquia, and she does turbans, and she's so beautiful, and I'm so jealous of. I have that face that does. You just nope. Can't.
My forehead's too big for any of it.
Yeah, I can't do a turban. I can't do a scarf. I can't do any of that stuff. So I think it's gorgeous. I really do. And I envy you because, I can't pull it off.
Yeah.
So, all right, ladies, I will see you later. My teeth are floating.